late. I was on Discord, lost track of time. Okay, I have set up as you see this black thing on top. I have set up the cap already for you guys. It is sunny. I have to oil up. I haven't oiled up. Let's see who's here. Kimmy Cat is here. Hello. Martin is here. Hello, Martin. Lady Baltimore is here. Linda is here. Richard Smith, Jennifer Rooney, Jake Lagatari. Oh my God, so many awesome people here. Gibraltar and Draculum, of course. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me put the signs, and we're gonna start. Okay, I put up the signs. Oh, I forgot to oil up. Sorry, I'm all over the place. How is everybody doing, by the way? Hey, hello, Bretta. Future Boy. Future Boy is in the building. Hello, Future Boy. Today we're in this part where we normally do, because Wednesdays I noticed there's not a lot of people in Museum Klein for some reason. Okay, we're done. I thought it was going to be cloudy in Amsterdam today. No, it is sunny. Funny thing is, today I noticed it is sunny. Yeah, it is sunny. It is, there's a lot of people on the street. It is, as you see, it's pretty green. There's people on boats, there's people on bikes, there's people on foot, and there's people in cars. There's people everywhere. Hello, Chip. It's 4 a.m. here. Much love to the vegan, says no context. Hey, nice to see you here. No context. If you want to go back to sleep, feel free to go back to sleep. We don't judge here. We are here. If you want to be here, be here. If you can't be here, don't be here. If you want to sleep, that's okay. Sleep. 4 a.m. is. You want to try a social experiment? I ask you some questions. That's it. So just some questions, not the IQ questions or something, just to get you to think a little bit.
Because we're Canadian, so we're not good in English. But we can try.
In English, right?
Yeah, but we are French Canadian.
You're French Canadian, but it sounds like your English is pretty good, though.
Yeah, we can try.
You can try it? Okay. Yeah. Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Okay, what's your name?
PA.
PA.
Yeah, and
nice
yours?
to meet you. I'm Chip.
Okay.
So, I fight for the rights of animals. I'm an animal rights activist.
Okay.
What do you think about animals? Do you think they deserve rights?
What kind of animal? Like a dog, cat, or like some cow or...
Does it matter?
But I just ask a question. Like, what?
I ask you, do you think they deserve rights? Do you think dogs deserve rights, cows don't? Do you think cows deserve rights?
No,
dogs
I
don't?
think that's all the same thing. But
Yeah.
Est-ce que tu crois qu'ils méritent d'avoir des droits, genre qu'ils ont leur place, genre?
I think they're all the same, but like if you're in the shit, like if you don't have the choice, you have to eat them. But if you like, I don't know if you.
So do they deserve rights or not? I'm sorry, I started with this question and you
Yeah.
still haven't answered. Do they deserve rights?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think they deserve the right to their own life?
What you want to say? Like,
to live without us interfering in their life.
yeah, but qu'est-ce qu'il dit? What's the question?
So do you think they deserve the right to
Yeah.
live without our interference?
Est-ce que
Yeah, I think yeah, sure.
Yeah. So when you said, for example, cows.
Like when they die, like naturally, you can eat, but eat them.
La question c'est est-ce que tu crois qu'ils méritent le droit de vivre
Oui.
sans qu'on interfère dans leur
Yeah, that's what I say.
But do you think that cows die naturally, or do you think they're killed?
Est-ce que
They
tu
have,
crois qu'ils sont
yeah,
morts
j'ai
naturellement?
compris, oui. I think they when they die naturally, it's sure you can eat, but if you kill for eat, I'm not sure that's the right thing to do.
Okay. What about chickens? Do you think they die natural? Do you think we kill
Not
them?
all, not all.
We kill them, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what age we kill chickens, for example?
What?
Do you know at what age we kill them?
It's like 1 year's thing, 1 or
So
2
they can
years.
live 10 years
Yeah.
and they get killed at 42 days.
Okay.
So 2 months.
Yeah, nice.
Is that nice?
No, but
Nice in the bad sense.
yeah, nice in the bad sense. But
yeah.
say in Canada we have a lot of a farm that have a lot of chicken, and I know they kill them, but generally in Canada we got a lot of farm of chicken for the eggs, not for killing.
Well, egg-laying chickens are also killed, right?
Yeah, but like they live more longer than just chicken die. When they live more longer.
At what age does it become moral for me to kill you?
What?
At what age
Yeah.
does it become moral for me to kill you?
They have no age.
No age. So I should let you live regardless of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then why would it be moral to kill them, even if it's at a later age?
C'est juste jamais bon.
They never. I don't think it's the.
It's just never right to kill them.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, it's never right to kill them. Do you think that you might have some responsibility in the matter of these killings?
But for me, I buy some milk in the place when they take the cow, like, and when it's old and die, they take the meat and
that doesn't exist.
yeah, in Canada we can do it.
How long does a cow live?
It's like 10 or 11 years.
25 years.
Oh, I don't know this.
Yeah. So what age are the cows that you eat are killed at?
I don't know.
Yeah, definitely less than that, right?
What?
Definitely less than 25.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, so you do pay for cows being killed, huh? And do you think it's okay to bring into existence cows only to use them and then kill them?
No.
No. So, do you think that yet again you have some responsibility in the matter of this?
No, we have responsibility. We all have responsibility.
Yeah. Well, I don't because I don't pay for it. But
No,
do
what
think
you
that-
do?
Oh, I don't pay for any animal products.
Oh, you're vegan.
Yeah. What do you think being vegan is?
Oh, you do what you want. I don't care.
C'est rien.
Yeah, I know. I don't care.
Well, what do you think being vegan means? Because you said, oh, you're vegan. What do you think being vegan means?
Like eat, don't eat animal and don't kill animal. Like care about what you buy and eat what you want.
No, it's just about respecting animals.
Yeah.
Being vegan is about respecting animals and respecting their rights.
Yeah, that's cool.
Do you think that's good?
That's we all. I think we all doing that, but not in the same way.
So wait, do you think you respect the rights of animals when you choose to
It's sure,
exploit and
it's sure
slaughter them?
we can all do that, but we try.
Do you think you can? Do you think you can respect the rights of animals?
Yeah,
Do you think you do now?
I try.
You try.
Yeah.
Why is it that you don't? What is happening that you don't respect their rights? Because from time to time you do consume animal products, or do you consume them with every meal?
No, we don't. No.
No.
Not every minute.
No, not every meal.
No, but every day.
Like no, like 1 a week or 2 a
Once
week.
a week. Okay.
Yeah,
So once a week.
because I like.
Why do you need to consume animal products once a
Because
week?
I like the taste.
Do you think that justifies being cruel to animals?
Yeah, but I try it, but I don't think we can stop that because it's
Why
a big
not?
industry. Like,
You can't stop the industry, but you can stop your support for the industry, can't you?
yeah, I think I do, but I don't think everybody do that.
But what do you mean? You support the industry? Because you buy animal products, right?
No, I kill them.
You kill them.
Yeah, I hunt.
You hunt.
I hunt one deer at years, and I eat all years. So I don't buy like cow or something.
So you don't consume any animal products here in
No.
Amsterdam. In Amsterdam, no.
No.
No, okay. I don't think that's true, but that's okay. That's okay. You can lie about it. That's okay. So now you're saying that you hunt. Do you think it's ethical to take the life of an animal when you don't need to?
I think it's more ethical than buy in a supermarket.
Yeah, just like it's more ethical to kill a woman than to rape a woman, but none of them are ethical, are they?
Yeah, but if you kill one deer and you eat all the ears, I think it's more ethical.
But what would be the most ethical? Wouldn't the most ethical be to not kill any deer?
Yeah, probably, but
So why not choose that?
But it's like, yeah, I understand.
I'm
what
sure
you're
you also eat fish, as far as I see.
saying. Yeah, I eat fish too.
Yeah.
But
do you
I-
think
I-
fish? Do you think fish it's okay to exploit and slaughter fish?
You do what you want. Like if you want to be vegan,
So if I want to kill humans and eat them, I do what I want.
yeah, it's your fun.
And you think that you want to live in a
Nope.
society where people kill each other and eat each other because they want to do that?
C'est parce que je parle pas l'anglais. man.
Mais je sais.
Come on, be honest here. It's not you do what you want. You know that some things are bad. It's not about what I want to do. It's about the fact that if I want to do something that has a victim, I shouldn't be allowed to do something that has a victim. Like if I want to start punching people, I shouldn't be allowed to start punching people just because they would be victims, right?
Yeah.
It's not like I do what I want. We do what we want up until there's a victim,
Yeah,
and
but
then we stop.
but I think you can do what you want, but don't press other people to do like you.
So wait, you can do what you want
Mhm.
up until there's a victim. Do you agree with this one?
Yeah.
Okay. So if there is a victim, do you think we should stop people from creating victims?
Like, but like it's not the question. You say if I kill one deer per year.
No. If there's a human being right now with a knife,
Yeah.
should we stop them?
Yeah.
Why? Because they're doing what they want.
Yeah, I know. But that's not the same question. Like
So we
kill
should
people.
stop them. So we should stop.
Yeah.
Okay. So then why shouldn't I stop you
Mm-hmm.
from doing the same thing to animals?
Because we eat them. Like it's for survival.
No, it's not for survival. You clearly
Why?
don't do it. You said
Why?
it's for taste because you
Yeah,
can
the taste,
survive. You can survive on eating just plants and plant-based products, right?
Okay. So, what do you want me to say?
I don't want you to say anything. It seems like you are either not understanding the point, or you deliberately divert from the point. Because the point is, you can choose to be healthy on a plant-based diet, yet you choose to kill animals. And you say, I should let you do what you want. And I say, I can live healthy without stabbing people, but I choose to stab people. Should you let me do what I want? No. So then, what is the difference there? It seems like there's victims in both situations, but all of a sudden, if the victim is human, stop them. If the victim is an animal, do whatever.
Is that a question?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Were you listening?
Yeah.
What
But
was
I
the
don't
question?
all understand because I'm French. That's what I say.
Okay.
I
Let
try
me
my
give
best.
you a card. That's okay. Let me give you a card. Just promise me you'll watch one thing: The Minion or the most important speech you'll ever hear.
Okay.
Will you watch one of these two?
I'm gonna try it.
Okay. Cheers. Have a good one.
Bye.
You guys want to have a conversation with me? You want to have a conversation with me? You already know what the subject is, so.
I can do it.
You can do it? Come on.
Of course.
Okay, so you know what the subject is. Are you
Yes,
okay
it's
being
the-
live for
it's
my
about
YouTube
me.
channel?
What's up, guys?
Okay, so it's about animals. Do you think animals deserve to not be killed?
I think no. Like
Animals do not deserve to not be killed?
no, do not.
Like,
Less.
we should.
Okay.
We should eat meat.
Are humans animals?
Yes.
Yeah, but we're
we
different
are,
kind of
we
So
are,
then wait,
animals.
animals deserve to not, and animals do not deserve to not be killed, but humans deserve to be
Yes,
killed.
yes.
So all of a sudden you picked some animals
Yes.
from the whole group of animals
Yes.
and
You
said
know
they
why? You know
deserve
why?
not to be killed.
because
Why?
because
I think-
humans have consciousness, and consciousness
Animals
give
also
you
have
another level.
consciousness.
Yeah, but we have different kind
So
of.
I know.
sentient.
So I know.
Like the
You
fact
cannot
that
talk to
we're
a dog,
talking
bro.
like that. It's a problem. Like you know the.
So if a human being cannot talk, then that means it's
No,
okay
it's
to
different
exploit and
because he can
slaughter.
think.
Okay. Do
He
you
can-
think you can talk to a dog, bro?
So if I cannot talk to a human being, then it's okay to exploit and
No,
slaughter.
no,
them.
no. You know
No,
the.
no, no.
No,
let
no,
me.
no,
Let me.
no. No, bro.
Do you know the reflex test?
No, why not?
Because
Tirarle al
because
reflejo.
humans are conscious. Like you
Animals
know
are
you
also
know
conscious.
that
Do
you are
you know
living.
what the Declaration
you know
of
that you are
Sentience?
living.
Do you know
Like
what the
dogs-
Declaration of Sentience is?
Sorry?
Have you heard of the Declaration of Sentience?
No. What is?
No. Do you know what sentience is?
Maybe in
Sentences.
Spanish, but in English, like.
No.
I don't
Okay.
know.
What it is?
So sentience means the capability to have a subjective experience. It means
Yes.
that they're conscious.
Is
Yes.
So animals are conscious. There's
Really?
2 declarations of sentience. Yeah, if you did not know that, that's okay. But
Okay.
you learn that right now. Animals are sentient. They are conscious.
They
They,
ha- they-
have
they
a
have a
subjective
conscience.
experience of the world. They have emotions. They have positive and negative valid emotions.
There are different things they
Is it
have.
okay to take their life for something that we don't need?
Okay, do you think? Okay, I will
Déjame,
give you
déjame,
another-
déjame.
Vale,
Let me
vale.
cook. Let me cook. Okay. Do you know like the reflect experiment?
The mirror
Yeah, the mirror
experiment.
experiment.
Yes, I do know about it.
Yeah.
Why does that matter?
Well, it matters because if they don't have
They do. So
no,
now let's imagine. Let's imagine a human being who cannot pass the mirror test.
Let me talk, right? Because you're trying to interrupt me and it doesn't prove any point. Like we just
I already
finished
know
school.
what you're about
No,
to
no.
say. Believe it or not, all these arguments that you have brought up are
But the
arguments
same
that
thing on your
everybody
side.
brings them up.
Yeah,
It's just
but
that on
it's
the
the same thing on your side. You
Sure,
just
sure,
follow
it's the same. Sure,
arguments.
sure. So maybe listen to the response to the
yeah,
argument.
yeah,
Okay,
that
okay.
right.
So the fact that some animals do not pass the mirror test, some humans also do not pass the mirror test. There are cognitively impaired human beings who do not pass the mirror test. Would it be okay to exploit and slaughter them?
Do you know what Aristotle says about the human?
Can you answer my question, please?
Yeah, I'm trying to answer it.
Okay.
I'm trying. Do you know what Aristotle says about the human?
Why would I care what he said about
Because-
humans?
Because
And how is that relevant to the question that I
Because
asked?
we're politic animals. That's the difference between the main animals and ourselves. We're political. The proof that we're political is that we have the capacity of talking.
So
No,
a
like,
human being
the-
who does not have that capacity, it's okay to exploit and slaughter them.
No,
No,
because
because they
every
will
human
have-
being
they will
has the
have the
capacity.
No, there's human beings who never have the capacity to talk their whole entire
No,
life.
but it's
Yeah,
not
but they
only
have
talking.
think-
They
they have
can
think- they
communicate
have
with
think.
us.
Animals also think, yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
they
but
think in a
like,
different kind of.
it is not the same.
Different
Okay,
way.
what is the morally significant difference between a human being and an
There's no
animal
moral
that
things.
justifies the
There's just
difference
no
in
moral.
treatment?
There's no moral.
Have you heard my
value.
question? Because you started already responding
Okay,
to it in the
okay,
middle of my
okay,
question.
I will give you
What was
another
my
example.
question?
Okay, I will
No,
give
no,
you
what
another-
was my question?
I don't know. Can you repeat?
Okay, so answer this question, okay?
Yes.
All right.
Because
Only
this
this
question
question, okay.
will,
Espera.
if you cannot answer this question, then you have no argument, okay?
All right, all right, all right.
What is the morally significant difference between a human being and an animal that justifies the difference in treatment?
We are
No, somebody
humans
in
and
English.
we are different species.
We are humans is not a difference. It's just
Yes.
it's a recursive statement, right?
Yes.
Saying that the difference between a human being and an animal is that one is a human is not a difference, okay? It's
Yes,
just
but
a
we're
statement.
different species. Do you
We are a
think?
different species. Do you think
Yes,
that a different
that's okay.
species means that it's justified to oppress them
Yes.
because they're a
For
different
example,
species?
Can I
for
ask
example,
you
What is a
question?
species?
Okay, can
Species,
I
for
ask you
example,
a
do you
What is a
question?
species?
Do you agree that, for example,
What is a species?
lion can
we
eat?
have, we have to
lion
end
can
this.
eat. Can,
We have to end this. What is a species?
So
It's
for
a category used by
a category.
scientists.
So it's a category, okay.
Yes,
So do
yes.
you think we should be judging whether to oppress somebody or not based on categories that they belong to?
Oh, nos está tirando la que somos racistas. You're trying to
Bro,
make some
but,
things.
but like for
It's a
example,
biological category, right? You just said it.
I'm just
Yes,
asking
It's a
a
biological
question.
category. So
Do
if
you
I
know-
pick any
yeah.
other biological
Another
category, should I discriminate based
Do you
on
know
that?
another category is carnivores?
but it's
In
not
nature,
discriminating, bro, it's
lions eat, for example,
Sure, we'll
gazellas.
go down
Why
that, but
can't-
that's a different
why can't
argument.
us?
That's a different argument,
But
and
it's
I'll
the
explain.
same thing.
No, that's not the same. I'll explain why. But let's finish this, okay?
All right, all
So,
right.
do you think it's morally justified to discriminate based on the category that an individual is belonging to?
Individuals like humans,
not individual.
no.
Animals
humans,
are
no. In
individual
animals,
because they
yes.
are sentient.
But do you think?
In
do you
humans,
think,
no.
No, you cannot answer one or the other. We're all
Of
animals.
course, we're not the same
So,
thing.
do you think it's okay to discriminate based on a category that an individual belongs to?
Do you think a zebra could have this talk with another
Yes.
zebra?
Can you
Yes.
please answer my question?
No.
I think it's okay.
no.
No, yes, I think yes.
Yeah, I
yes.
think it's okay. Do you
Yes,
think that
yes,
then racists
yes.
do exactly
No,
what you
No,
do?
no,
Between
no, no.
humans,
Because
it's
it's
not
different,
that.
is that not
it's
a
different.
wait? Race is not a category.
No,
No.
we
It's
are
not a
humans. It's the same
biological
species.
category?
Like we are in a whole.
Is race not a
We are in
category?
the same category.
Answer my question. Is race a category?
No,
No. What is race then?
race is we are like
Wait, what is race?
race. It do not exist. It's a moral, like it is like
a
a social
category.
construct. You know, for example,
Yeah.
we are now like you and me.
What
are-
is the social construct then? Is the social construct not a
race,
category?
race do not exist. We are human.
Isn't
we're
race
species?
Isn't, so wait a minute. Would you say that you can split people in races?
No.
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 No, you cannot. So race does not exist.
Yes.
Okay.
Just stop.
Okay. Does sex exist?
Yes.
Is sex a category?
Yes.
Should we discriminate based on sex?
No.
Wait, but you said we can discriminate if somebody
No,
belongs
but
to a different
category.
category.
Okay, I will change the word. It's not category. It's a species. Like we
What
are
is
different
species?
from
What is
animals.
species? We come back to this.
Species are like we are a type of
Have you
animal.
ever had
For
a
example,
philosophy class?
for example,
No.
What is
for example,
species? Is it not a category?
species is a
It's a
sort
category,
of
yes.
yes. It's a category, but
Yeah.
it's a
It's
group
defined
of,
by a
it's
group of
group of
phenotypes.
individuals
It's a
that.
group of
Can I ask you
phenotypes,
a
right?
question?
Okay,
Have you
no,
ever had?
no,
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 espera.
le voy a dar la definición,
No, no,
le voy a dar
espera,
la
espera. Have you ever had like philosophy class in school?
espera, deja.
Espera, espera. Let me cook.
Pesado,
Let me cook.
venga,
Let me
venga,
cook. Let me cook.
Venga.
In
No,
school,
no, no,
you
I
have
will answer. I will answer.
Que
A
eres
species,
retrasado,
a species is
bro.
a group of individuals that
So it is a group.
resembles and
Me
can
estás-
reproduce
te estás
together.
ganando la
Can,
conversación.
can you reproduce with a cat?
Can
No,
I reproduce
we
with
are
you?
different.
Wait, can I reproduce with you?
Yes. No,
Okay.
but we sex.
No,
We sex.
no,
Okay.
no,
Yes.
So then
does that
I
mean
am
that
a
I
woman,
can oppress
if I
you
am a
because you're
woman-
not part of the
no,
same
okay,
group as
okay,
me?
okay. But you know, a species is a group of individuals.
Yeah.
Like without. Okay, there's males and females. Okay.
Puedo hacer mi
That's
promo
okay.
en Instagram.
That's also another group.
No,
right?
no,
So we
but
can
there's-
create different
no,
groups.
we have the categories and then the groups, okay?
Yeah.
And so the categories, the people who are in the categories are people that resembles, okay? Like physically we are.
Also, you think we should discriminate based on phenotypes,
Está muy
right?
tranquilo y él está muy.
Yes.
Okay.
No,
okay.
but no between the categories, like
No, between phenotypes.
but in different.
Okay, so
different-
gender is also a phenotype, right?
Yes, but gender
Race
is
is
in
a
the
phenotype. Race
the
is a group of
species.
phenotypes. Intelligence is a phenotype. Skin color is a phenotype. Which one should we discriminate based on? Should we discriminate based on intelligence?
Can you?
I think the
okay,
beauty
it's easy.
of
It's
the
easy.
human
It's
being-
easy. Can you reproduce? Can you have
Can I
child
reproduce with you?
with an animal?
Can I have a
no,
child
I
with
can
you?
discriminate an animal because I cannot reproduce with.
Can I reproduce with
Te
you?
está ganando la conversación.
Yes, but
I
with a
cannot
female,
reproduce
with a
with you.
female, yes.
So wait a minute. If I'm infertile, if a person is infertile, then it's okay to oppress them because they couldn't reproduce with anybody.
No, but this is like, do you know?
Te está papeando.
Que no me está papeando, bro. Te prometo que no me está papeando.
So you don't seem to know exactly
think you're
why it's
winning
okay to oppress. Okay, let me ask you this: would it
Okay.
be okay to cut the throat of dogs and eat them?
Yes.
Ah, no salgo.
I would
Espera.
say yes. I would
I,
say
Yes.
I don't appear. man.
Yes,
I don't
for
appear.
optional food.
for optional food.
Yeah.
Yes, Chinese people do.
So you think it's okay also? Okay. Okay.
I-
Dogs,
I-
cats. It's okay to kill any animal you want as long as
It
as
depends.
long as you put their flesh in your mouth. It's all becomes moral, correct?
Are you familiar
Okay,
with?
let me ask
with
you this then.
hunting?
One
Are you
second.
familiar with- oh,
One second.
right.
So, do you think that then, if I take a dog, I kill them and I use them as a punching bag, is that moral?
Yes, they do with crocodile, bro.
So it is
They
moral.
just
No,
kill-
no.
Yes,
So it is
No.
moral.
for me, yes.
Okay. So for you, the only thing is that if at some point the genotype resembles that of a human, they're no longer they deserve moral consideration. But if they're not human, they don't deserve moral consideration, right?
Yes.
And you can't explain why. It's just because they belong to the
No,
same
no, no,
group
I
as
can
you.
explain why.
It's just because they belong to the same group as you, and because you can reproduce with them.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Well, you're essentially, wouldn't a racist say exactly the same thing as you would?
No.
They belong to the same group
swear.
as me. They're a different
Te prometo que no,
thing.
te prometo que
No
no.
salgo en el video. I don't appear in the
Okay,
video.
okay.
And I just wanted to ask you: are you familiar with like the hunting,
Te prometo
for
que no.
example,
Te prometo que
articles
no.
here in Spain? Like, for example, I'm gonna say it. I've had like my family hunts, but there's some strict rules. Like, for example, you have to be familiar, for example, the panda and everything like special animals.
So there's
species
animals that you
are
hunt.
protected because we're not here like to kill everyone just
Literally,
for our own
also.
pleasure. We were
Like-
with the technological increases we've done.
So some
in the
races
last
are
years.
protected. Some species are protected.
Yes, because we're killing too many of them. That's why there's laws. There's laws to try to protect them.
How does that
because
make it moral to exploit and slaughter another
It's
innocent
not.
animal?
It's not a question of more. It's just a question of survival. For thousands of years.
Do you think you consume animal products for survival, or do you do it out of sheer pleasure,
Both of them.
convenience, or
No,
tradition?
both of them. And
Oh, wait a minute. Do you think you
everything,
can
everything.
survive and thrive on a plant-based diet?
You could, but why would it do it?
You can, right? So you can get all
It
the
can-
nutrition that your
all
body
the
needs,
nutrients,
right?
Not only the nutrients, because
totally.
Not all the
No,
nutrients.
no.
Which nutrients would you be missing?
I cannot say like, for example, just top of my head.
We are not
but
experts.
we know.
We are not
Well, I'm a
experts, but we know.
certified nutritionist, so if
Really?
you make these kind of statements, you should back them up. Yes.
But I've seen there's a good phrase like sentence in Spanish. You say is nunca te fíes de lo que oyes ni la mitad de lo que ves. It's basically you can like
You
pretend
can trust appearance,
everything.
trust
You can trust
appearance.
everything you see. But for what I've said, because I have also an uncle who's a nutritionist and goes to a lot of doctors, they said like, for example, the fake meat, for example. Yeah,
You
they
mean
have
plant-based
tofu,
meat?
The
tofu,
plant-based
tofu,
meat,
for
all
example.
that. You can survive on that, but you won't be like in great shape or something like that.
I think I'm better built than you. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
but you
And
go
I
to the
consume
gym, man.
plants,
You
man.
go to the gym.
Yeah.
You
okay.
go to the gym, right?
Yeah.
Mentira, mentira.
So I can build muscle easily, right, on a plant-based diet. Can I not?
Stuff with the, yeah, you're really strong. man.
Yeah. So if I can build muscle on a plant-based diet, why exactly would you think that you cannot do it too? Do you think is there something special about me? There isn't. I'm normal.
No, but
you're
we are not saying, like
100%
we're not saying,
Everybody, listen. This isn't my opinion, by the way. The largest organization of nutritionists and dietitians on the planet say
OMS.
that we can thrive on a plant-based diet. right?
OMS.
Say it again.
The OMS, the
I don't know what OMS is.
no,
like,
the
for-
mondial.
OMG.
Non,
OMG.
l'Organisation mondiale de la santé.
Oh, the health
Yeah,
the global
the-
health
the global,
organization.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm sure
It
they
said
do
that.
also. Yeah,
It said
yeah.
that.
I'm sure they do. I'm not sure if they like. I haven't checked if they have a statement for that. But like the largest organizations of nutritionists and dietitians on the planet, it's called the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. They are the largest ones on the planet, and they say you can thrive on a plant-based diet. There's also every health organization, every governmental health organization, including the Netherlands, including Spain, including UK. They say that
Spain
you
is
can
not
thrive on a
doing right now
plant-based
very
diet.
good, and we have our internal groups. Like our parties are like totally shit, you know.
No,
Sure.
But I can
like
say-
every other country and all these
Voy a
other
acabar.
organizations tell us
Voy a
that you
acabar.
can thrive
You
on
know
a
what I
plant-based
believe?
diet.
I
But knowing that
believe-
you can thrive on a plant-based diet, I'm curious, how exactly does it, how is it morally justified to bring an animal to life, use them like an object, and then kill them, knowing that you don't
Well,
need to do any of it?
No, I believe that like the exploitation, like the creating intensive farms, I'm against that because.
Why are you against the intensive
but-
farms?
But
Because the intensive farm, well.
also for pollution, for
no-
example,
not
the
only for
environment.
pollution,
Well,
for the
intensive farms
environment.
are actually better for pollution than big farms because you would have a bigger concentration of animals under a smaller footprint, a land footprint. So obviously, intensive farming is actually better for the environment. But I'm
I
curious.
try to support like local farmers, you know.
But what is
I
bad
have
about
a
what is bad
grandparent
about factory
who was
farming?
a farmer, and he tried to keep on going.
Sure, but what is bad about factory farming according
he,
to
now
you?
he's like top of in Spain, and now
No, but
thanks to that I'm here. So
I think
I
the main
support local
issue is that
people.
you think that animals have consciousness and
The animals
I
have
don't-
consciousness.
That's the main issue. Like that's the point that
That's
I do not
scientific.
agree.
That's not
like
the-
for example,
So you don't agree with science?
no, but like science, science is a belief.
No,
like,
science is not a belief.
Science is a belief. Yes, science is a belief.
Do you know what the difference?
You are
between-
you are
do you know what the
seeing
difference
and
between
you're
sci-
deducing.
You know what the
things.
difference between science and the belief is? That one is
Yes,
testable.
and science also science is a
Science
belief,
is
bro.
testable, yes.
Science.
It's
No,
not a
several
belief.
also.
There is evidence for
you're
it.
only
We
sure.
have evidence that animals are sentient. We have evidence. We have empirical
Can you explain
evidence.
to me?
We have
Can you explain to me?
what
like-
evidence we have.
Yes.
Yeah. So take for instance, when you harm an animal,
Mm-hmm.
they don't just remember the fact that you harmed them. They
Mm-hmm.
have an emotional reaction to it. Have you not noticed that dogs have anxiety, for
That's,
example?
that is not
Have you,
conscious. That is.
have you ever seen that dogs
instinct,
have anxiety?
I
It's not
would-
instinct if they have emotions, dude.
It is instinct. Emotions. We are animals. You have.
So they do have
I
emotions.
think we have two parts
Do you
in
think
our.
animals don't have emotions?
Emotions are the part of the irrational. We have.
Do you think animals have emotions or not?
Yes,
Yes, they do have emotions.
That,
Do you think
that's
they have
not
a subject-
conscious.
This is
do you
going
think they-
nowhere, and we
that-
got
do you-
to go
do you
to
think
the
they have-
hotel,
do you
man.
think they have a subjective
do you
experience
think
of the world?
babies have emotions? Babies do have consciousness.
Babies
have not consciousness but
babies
have
are
emotions.
sentient, yes.
Emotions
Do you
do
want
not
to
mean
rotate?
consciousness.
They do
We
have
change or not?
consciousness. So
We want to go
For
to
me-
the
for
hotel,
me-
man.
sentience means subjective
Man, he's yapping
experience
and
of
he
the
doesn't know
world.
even how to talk.
This is
Positive and negative
but
valence emotions.
for me.
I'll just give you guys 2 cards, okay? You have my YouTube channel over there.
Okay,
Just,
thank you.
just
Wait,
you know
wait,
what? One thing. Just one thing. I urge you one thing. Scan this QR code and watch Dominion. Just do that, okay? Okay, just to see what you're supporting. You might not be okay with what you're
Okay.
supporting. You might not actually know it because I used to be in your shoes. I used to defend it fierely with all this kind of stuff. But you might not actually know what you're defending, okay? Because it's not nice, okay?
Okay.
Okay, what's your name? What's your guys' names?
Jaime.
Jaime. I appreciate you having this conversation with me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Have an
you.
awesome day
Yeah.
and
Try.
watch those videos, okay?
Let's see what time we have like the same mind. Support the same.
I strongly believe that we are actually believe the same thing. I just think you guys believe way too much what animal agriculture is selling you.
chose the
Pero que eres un
Wrong
pringao,
person,
bro.
he
No,
doesn't
no
even know
cuestiones
how
no
to
saber
talk
inglés.
Sure,
Eres un colado,
sure.
bro.
It's okay. I appreciate the conversation. You guys want to have a conversation with me? I'm sure you already heard what we were discussing
yeah, I
about.
heard
How do you
about
guys feel about any of this?
Well, being vegetarian, I feel that the importation of some of the fruits and vegetables we eat probably causes more harm than killing the animals and consuming the meat itself.
In what way do you mean?
The flight, bringing over avocados from Mexico, for example, causes more greenhouse gases emission.
Do you have empirical evidence for that? Because I have
I-
empirical evidence against what you're saying.
Off the top of my head, I don't have a source.
So the carbon footprint of animal products is monumentally large, and the carbon footprint of the flight is way smaller than the carbon footprint of like, say you buy an animal product locally, it would still be worse for the environment than if you imported one single avocado in a plane.
On what scale? So
But doesn't matter because I don't care about the environment that much. Like I care about the environment, but what I'm here speaking about is animal rights.
Okay.
So do you think that is it moral? Is it okay to take an animal's right for something that you don't need? An animal's right to live, an animal's right to be free.
I believe that consuming animal products is necessary. In my opinion.
Are you open to changing your mind about that? Because
I'm
we have
open to
empirical
it.
evidence that we don't need to consume any animal products.
Although the position we're in society, I don't believe it's necessary to change
So
my
it's
views.
not necessary. It's not necessary for you to change your views. But that's not the question. Do you think you can thrive? That means be healthy on a plant-based diet.
I do believe you could thrive on a. I think you could survive on a
So you don't
plant-based
believe you
diet.
can? Do you think you can thrive?
I do
ask
not
this.
believe you can thrive.
What exactly do you think you would be missing on a plant-based diet?
Just the
Vitamin D.
vitamin D, get
hello?
that from the sun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the proteins, which you can get from tofu, but that's also oil-based, which
Tofu is oil-based. What are you talking about? Tofu is bean-based.
soybean-based.
Yeah.
Which soybean, I might have mixed up my words. Soybeans, which are known to increase estrogen in
No,
males.
they're not. They actually have phytoestrogens. Phytoestrogens actually help regulate testosterone. So there's been a study actually showing that phytoestrogens have absolutely no effect on free-flowing testosterone or estrogen in blood flow.
How recent was this?
Oh,
Do you remember?
it's actually a study done by animal agriculture of all the things, because animal agriculture was trying to prove exactly what you're saying. But the reality is no, it does not. It does not increase estrogen at all.
So, I just believe that a human body is supposed to intake animal products. It is.
But do you have any science behind your
I don't
your
have it
claims?
off the top of my head. Again,
Okay.
I'm not a
So
professional.
I actually have empirical evidence on my back, and you can look it up afterwards. But if you start on the premise that you don't need to consume animal products because you can definitely be healthy and thrive. Take a look at me, I'm healthy, I'm thriving without consuming any animal products. There's millions of people who do the same thing if you want just as sheer anecdotes. But we also have, as I said, empirical evidence. You can even pull up your phone right now and Google it and you'll find out that we can thrive on a plant-based diet. So my question is, knowing that we can thrive on a plant-based diet, is it moral then to do what we do to animals? To bring them to life, only to use them like an object and then kill them?
Maybe not moral, but justified, in my opinion.
It's justified for what?
Now, maybe not the mass killing and the smushing of the animals, but keeping those animals and, for example, milking your cows or goats
Let's talk about milking. Okay, so
Yep.
why do cows produce milk?
when they're pregnant or have births.
Do you think that they get pregnant when they want to, or do you think farmers impregnate them?
Most farmers impregnate them, which is I
Is
find
that moral
wrong.
to you? Impregnating an animal so that you can get what you want from their body?
That's a difficult topic. I think that it depends. If you let it naturally happen, I believe it is moral, but if you do not, maybe not the most. Yeah, just a difficult topic to go over with the milking of animals. Although I do hear that
So
some
wait,
people...
let's finish this. So I personally don't believe it's ethical to use the reproduction organs of an animal so that you can get something that you can put in your mouth, just because you like the taste of that thing, a sensory pleasure essentially. But when the babies are born, what do you think happens to them?
killed
Well, the first thing is they separate it from their mothers. Do you know why?
so that they can't extract the milk themselves. The babies can't extract the milk themselves.
So that they don't drink too much milk. Yeah. So that farmers can control how much milk they drink. Yeah, if the baby is born male, they kill them right on the money. And if they're born female, every year they exploit them, sexually exploit them. That means they get them pregnant. They take their babies, they use them for their milk. And at the age of 8, they kill them. Do you know why they kill them at that age? They can live 24, 25 years, by the way.
Because the milk stops becoming like healthy to the human body, or just like not essentially the best milk.
They just can't get them pregnant anymore.
Yeah.
And if in order they only get pregnant in heat, well, when they're in heat, and they would have to wait another year to get them pregnant, and that would mean feeding them for a year, so they kill them. It's the cheapest, the best for their money. Is that moral?
Not moral, but again, in today's society, ethical. In my opinion, just the creation of meat, it's the fastest, best way to get the food we want.
I don't think that. Wait, in what way is it the fastest and best way? Because it is the worst way to get the nutrition that you want, right? Because if you think about it, we have to grow food to feed the animals. We then have to feed those animals. We then have to kill those animals and do all this exploitation on top of it. There's several people who suffer from PTSD. The people in slaughterhouses suffer from PTSD and all these mental issues because they are constantly killing animals. So it's unproductive. It's bad for the people, and it's bad for the animals, and bad for the environment. By the way, it's horrible for the environment.
I do believe meat and milk is very it helps with gut health and hormone regulation.
Meat and milk do not help with gut health. Actually, there's been a study that plants actually have the best, because fiber is the best thing you can do for your gut. And plants have fiber. Meat does not have fiber, hence why carnivore people, they shit once a week, because they barely have any bowel movements because they don't have anything stimulating.
Well, you kind of need a balance between that. You can't just have meat and
you need a balance
it.
of macronutrients and micronutrients.
Yes,
but the source
yes.
of the macro and micronutrient doesn't matter.
Now,
why would you say
Are
that?
you saying with everyone going on a plant-based diet, nobody would, we wouldn't have any problems with environmental issues?
Of course, we would have different environmental issues, but when it comes to food, that would be the best choice for the environment, if that's your concern. Obviously, we have environmental issues with how we get energy. We have environmental issues on how we travel, how we transport things, how we ourselves travel. But when it comes to the concern of the environmental footprint of your food, adopting a plant-based diet would reduce your footprint by 75%.
75%.
Yeah, that is for land use. For water use, I think it was 60%, and there's eutrophication also, there's biodiversity loss, there's a lot of these, but for all accounts, it would be better. But yet again, I don't like speaking about the environment because I wouldn't harm anybody to save the environment. I still think the rights of individuals matter more. So I still think animals deserve to live and not be exploited by us because we don't need to do it.
Now, about the pleasure, the enjoying meat.
Sensory pleasure,
Yeah, sensory pleasure. That's also kind of difficult. Building our entire life around that and then suddenly trying to strip it away. I just feel that most people won't be able to do that.
So by the way, in this conversation, I appreciate that we want to talk about more people, but let's not speak for others, because there's other people who can make the choices for themselves. They have different reasons behind their choices. But I'm curious about yourself. What is keeping you from adopting a plant-based diet?
Price is a big thing.
Okay.
And again, sensory pleasure. I don't like the taste of baked beans. I don't like the taste of tofu.
So price and taste.
Yes.
So if I give you resources to help you adopt a plant-based diet, be within your price range, and be healthy, of course, and taste, you will like it, of course, because I'm assuming you add spices on your meat or whatever it is that you eat, and spices are nothing more but plants, right? Mm-hmm. So plants actually give considerably more taste. You can find something to love even on a plant-based diet, I'm sure about that. So do you think that there's anything holding you back from being nice to these animals, from respecting them?
I don't think there's anything holding me back, although, again, it's just the cultural norm. You can go to shops and find, that vegetarian option, but most of it won't be completely vegetarian.
Well, vegan, because vegetarians, yes, we've established they still. But Wait a minute. Do you think cultural norms should dictate morality?
They do, sadly.
But do you think that they should?
I don't think that they should.
I agree with you on that, and they should, because we had several cultural norms throughout our years which were not moral in any sense, right?
Yes.
Women not having rights, slavery. Those are two pretty extreme examples, but they were cultural norms at some point.
Yes.
So, so then, because if we don't need to consume animal products, if you say it is not moral but it is justified, I don't think it is justified, because yet again you can get all the nutrition that you need, and you can get food enjoyment also from plant-based products. I just failed to see what exactly makes it justified to take the life of an innocent animal for a 10-minute meal, a whole life for a 10-minute meal.
Now, it's not just a 10-minute meal. A single cow is not going to be in one 12-ounce, 24-ounce steak. That'll feed many.
No, but that's the choice you're making. You're not making the choice saying, I know that this will feed many. You're making the choice for yourself. Come on. This isn't the choice that, like you're saying, you're not the person who's killing the cow and saying, well, I'm feeding a lot of people. You're the person, and even the people who kill the cows, they do it for money. That's their justification. In your mind, when you buy an animal product, I don't think that your justification is, well, I'm feeding, it's feeding a lot of people.
My justification for that is my nutritional value and sensory pleasures. So, getting something that tastes good and will keep me working, alive, and standing.
Would you do it to dogs for the same reason?
I would not eat a dog.
For the same reasons?
I would not.
Dogs do also have less nutritional value, I think, though.
So what exactly morally, so what is the difference between a dog and a cow? Do you think that if we put a dog in a slaughterhouse, they feel any differently than if we put a cow into a slaughterhouse?
Yes, just because that's,
Do
again...
you think they feel differently?
I feel like they would feel differently.
Why?
Again, it's just the social norm. It's the...
Well, wait, the social norm does not dictate how they feel. A knife to their throat does not feel differently if the social norm is that it's okay to put a knife to their throat.
I think they know what they're doing. I think they...
You mean the animals know what they're
Well,
No, the person who's working in that slaughterhouse didn't just end up there, is my thing.
They did just end up there. Yeah, that's the most of the times they're people who are in the financial situations that they can only get that job.
You can
they're
work
immigrants.
at a factory, though.
They're immigrants. They're like, you can read up on them. They're people who are only nowadays they're starting to get rights in the Netherlands, for example. They've had in Germany, but in the Netherlands, only now they're starting to have rights. So yeah.
Well, in the past, we used to hunt and eat dogs, correct? We only adopted this pet fact because we use dogs to hunt or use cats to hunt mice in the farms.
But how is that morally justified, knowing that we don't need to do any of it today? Maybe in the past we needed to, maybe we justified because we didn't have enough products, but today we have several products. Today we just can, your only thing is to go into a supermarket and pick something else, or when you go to a restaurant, choose something else. How is it morally justified for you to choose for an animal to lose their life for you?
I enjoy having that, I can go into Krabby Joe's, pay 10 Canadian dollars for some steak bites, and that is half my protein of the day. That's 90 protein.
I don't know, man. I get yesterday I got 300 grams of protein. I get at least 240 grams of protein per day. You can definitely get protein from a plant-based diet. I don't think it's justified to take somebody's life for protein. Do you think it's justified to take the life of an innocent sentient being for protein?
No, I believe not. But what you said with the 200 protein, I do think we should have some gallons, right? But I don't think I should have just pounds and pounds of animal products to fill my protein. I think I should have some source of meat that is highly dense and full of
but it's not
protein.
about you, okay? I repeat, it's about the animal. Do you think you can get all the nutrients that you want on a plant-based diet?
I believe you could. I just feel like society's not ready for that.
Okay, so you could, but doesn't matter if society is ready for that or not, right? Let me ask you this question: if you guys were born during slavery times, do you think you would have stood up to slavery, or do you think you would have said, "Let's do it because everybody else is doing it also"? Because based on what you're saying, you would fall onto the latter. You would support it simply because everybody else is doing it, and society isn't ready to get rid of it.
I feel like that's just it's almost a vastly different topic. If I was a cow and other cows were being slaughtered, I'd understand.
It's not that much of a different topic because animals are enslaved in animal agriculture. They are brought into existence to be treated like objects. The fact that they're an individual, the fact that they have wills and desires does not matter to the farmers at all. What matters is how their body is. If their body is big enough, they kill them. Does it matter if the animal wanted to die or not? No, it does not matter. Does it matter that the animal wanted to be free? No, it does not matter. None of it matters. They are literally slaves, and they only matter as much as their body matters. If their body is not good, next one.
Again, it's just with a vegan diet, it's difficult. Again, as I've stated multiple times.
But I can help you with that. Like, again, I have resources that would give you access to a certified nutritionist for free and help you adopt a plant-based diet, all of it for free. How does like, you still find it difficult because you want to find it difficult? Because if you have the resources and everything you need, where are you from, by the way?
Canada.
Canada.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm sure that in Canada, I've been to Canada. I've been to Jesus, I'm spacing out on the name now, but I've been to Canada, and I had no issues. There were several vegan products and vegan restaurants all over the place. So
Did you go to a bigger city like Toronto?
Yeah, I was in Toronto.
Toronto, yeah. So we live in a smaller city in Ontario. I find that it is kind of difficult. I mean, there's Freshie, but not many vegan stores there that don't supply like animal products. And again, price-wise,
but
in my
it's
area,
about you choosing the plant-based product. It's not about the fact that the supplier also has animal products. It's not about being pure in any way. It's about not supporting the exploitation, abuse, and slaughter of animals, right? Like, if you wouldn't support the exploitation, abuse, and slaughter of dogs, why would you support the exploitation, abuse, and slaughter of cows? Just because somebody told you that it's okay to kill dogs, that it's okay to kill cows but not dogs. Do you think a cow chooses to be born a cow?
no, but the reason, it's almost like a hierarchy. We've always had it. It will never change. Dogs were made for hunting. We originally
But wait a minute. All these labels and this hierarchy we created,
Yes,
and we attributed it to these externally to these beings.
yes.
Do you think it's fair to do that? When it comes to being violent and
find
oppressive towards somebody, do you
Sir-
think it's fair if somebody puts a label on you, and because they put that label on you, then they can be oppressive towards you? They have the power to do so. They live in a society where that label means that they can oppress you.
I don't think it's fair if I was that person. But
So then why would it be fair to if somebody else is? Come on, man.
it's just survival of the fittest. Humans were the top of the food chain.
That can apply to everything. I can say I can right now kill you and say it's survival of the fittest. What do you mean? Come on, we have morality. We don't just go by survival of the fittest. We're gonna kill somebody. When we find a human being who needs help, we help them. We don't just say fuck you, die because it's survival of the fittest, right? That's the whole point about it. And we don't do so. If we find a dog that's with 3 legs, we don't just kill them and say clearly not fit enough to live, right? But all of a sudden, if it's a cow, we're like, oh, that's okay, we can kill them, we can sexually exploit them, we can take their babies, we can kill their babies, we can steal their milk, essentially do everything, all the worst things that we can to this animal.
It's definitely a difficult topic. I haven't researched it personally. I just, do what I do.
Yeah. But how about I give you the cards, look into 2 documentaries, just to learn a little bit about what you're supporting, and then you make choices for yourself. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, you also have the access to the nutritionist is there. It's called Challenge 22. Okay, it's for free. So watch Dominion or The Most Important Speech You'll Ever Hear. They both appear on top when you scan this QR code. Okay.
Yep,
You
thank
also
you.
have my YouTube channel there, and I appreciate you guys. Just promise me you'll watch one of these 2 videos. Okay.
promise.
Just
Have a
to
good
know
one.
what you're supporting. That's it. Okay.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank you
you,
very
man.
much.
Appreciate you guys. Cheers.
Have a good one.
You too. Hi. You wanna have a conversation with me?
Yeah.
Are you okay being live from my YouTube channel?
Yeah.
How old are you?
What?
How old are you?
15.
Is your dad okay? Is okay? Okay.
Yeah.
You wanna come here so that you review? What's your name?
Connor.
Connor. I'm Chip. Nice to meet you. Where are you from, Connor?
Ireland.
Say it again.
Ireland.
Ireland. Okay. So, did you hear some of the topics we were talking about?
Like vegetarian and veganism.
Yeah. So we're talking about animals.
Yeah.
Do you think animals deserve rights?
Yeah, they do.
They do. What rights do you think they deserve?
I think they deserve to not be killed cruelly, and like for not all of them to be killed off.
So you think they deserve? Do you think they deserve the right to not be enslaved?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think that animal agriculture enslaves animals?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you think that they deserve the right to not be enslaved, do you think that when you consume an animal product that is essentially coming from animal agriculture, you're going against your own values?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Uh,
why would you want to go against your own values then?
Well, I think for some people it's just easier to like eat meat, and if they might not have like that much education on how to like get good nutrition without meat.
Do you think you can get? Do you think you can be healthy and get all the nutrition that you need on a plant-based diet?
Yeah, if you're educated
Yeah.
of like what foods to eat, I think you can.
So if I give you the resources, help you to educate you, with access to a certified nutritionist to help you with this, would you see it? Is there any reason holding you back from adopting a plant-based diet?
No.
No. Okay. Do you have any questions
Uh,
for me? I'm vegan, by the way.
No. Well, how do you find it being vegan for you?
I don't know why people complain that it's difficult. It's not. It's easy.
Yeah.
The only difficult part is being an animal rights activist is difficult. You know?
Yeah.
Like speaking for the animals, it can be difficult because a lot of the times people just come up with excuses and they
Yeah.
say, well, it's okay to kill cows but not dogs. Why?
Yeah.
Because we said so.
Yeah.
It's this
I
kind of
understand
stuff that makes it difficult. But otherwise, no, it's not difficult to be vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me give you resources then.
Okay.
If you scan this QR code, there's a thing there called Challenge 22. They hook you up with a nutritionist, send you recipes every day,
Yeah.
and they help you go vegan for free.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank
And
you.
the two documentaries that appear on top, I recommend you watch one of them.
Okay. Yeah.
Just to get a little bit to know about what we're talking about, okay?
Yeah.
I appreciate you having this conversation with me.
Thank
Have
you.
a good one.
Have a good one.
Okay, everyone, I think I might need to change something before we continue. It's kind of a weird thing. But yeah, I'm gonna remove the cap because it's direct sunlight. Hi, you wanna have a conversation with me?
Sure.
Give me 1 second, let me just put this on my phone.
Okay, no worries.
It's a bit weird, but that's okay. At least the sun won't shine.
No worries.
You wanna be here? Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Yeah, sure.
What's your name?
Natalia. What's
Natalia.
yours?
Nice to meet you. I'm Chip. Where are you from, Natalia?
Nice to meet you too. I'm from Colombia.
Colombia. Okay. So Natalia, what do you think we have in common with animals?
I think everything in the sense of we come from them. So we're empathic, we are in, like, we function by being in a community.
Yeah.
I don't know, we get together with other humans like elephants are with elephants. I mean,
Do you think animals have emotions?
Absolutely. I
Do you think they have a subjective experience of the world?
Yes,
Yes. Okay.
I do.
Do you think that they have desires, fears?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So then, I'm an animal rights activist.
Okay.
Do you think that they deserve the right to not be enslaved by us?
Yes, I do.
Yes. Do you think that there are certain industries that enslave animals?
Yes.
Do you know which ones
absolutely.
those are?
I mean, the beauty industry.
That's one, yeah.
Doing like makeup or beauty tests
Yeah.
on them. Also, the medical industry sometimes
Agree
with,
with you.
I don't know, vaccines or many experiments. I don't know, maybe
Do you think animal agriculture does that to them?
yes. I know that there has been some advances in this field about, I don't know, maybe with chickens, we are doing some, like, they being free in a farm and then collecting the eggs, but I know that it's not as ideal as it should be. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, do you buy animal products?
I do.
Do you
Yeah.
think that when you do that, you are going against your own values of saying that animals should not be enslaved?
I mean, It's, yeah, absolutely. I know that it's like a
Hypocritical.
yes, thank
Yeah.
you, like
Yeah,
a
no worries.
hypocritical
Yeah.
stand. But where I come from, it's just easier to get. Like we don't have as much of an alternatives to, I don't know, milk or animal products, or, but yeah, I should definitely um, go for the alternatives. But yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about milk. Why do you think cows produce milk?
Because they are moms. And
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Do you think they become moms? That means they get pregnant when they want to, or do you think farmers impregnate them?
I mean, it depends on the farm, but normally it's because they impregnate them.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's the most prevalent one. If we did that to a human being, what would we call it?
I mean, torture, I guess.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I would say it's rape, but yeah, torture is a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So.
If when the babies are born, what do you think happens to them?
They normally get separated from them, and then
Do you know why they separate them?
yes, because they need the milk. So
Yeah, you know your stuff. You know your stuff. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so if they're more born male, what happens to them?
to produce meat.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they get killed. You're right for
Okay.
meat. And if they're born female, the same fate as their mother. Every year impregnated, baby stolen and used for milk. And at the age of 7 or 8, they kill them. Do you know why? That they can live 24, 25 years, so it's a third of their lifespan.
I would guess that because the meat is better in that age, in those ages, but I don't know.
That's not it, but that's an interesting one. Would that be moral if they did that?
No, not at all. I'm just
Yeah,
trying to.
yeah. So they kill them because they can no longer get them pregnant. They
Got
try
it.
to, and if the pregnancy doesn't stick, they kill them. Because if they would have to get them pregnant again, they would have to wait another year to try.
Oh,
Because
okay.
they only get in period in a certain period of the year. They only get in heat a certain period of the year.
Okay.
Yeah. Is any of that nice to do to animals?
Not at all.
No.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I have
That's
to
okay.
go. But
That's okay.
Thank you.
Do you think so? There's this thing here. If you scan this QR code, there's this thing here called Challenge 22. They hook you up with a nutritionist. They send you recipes every day and help you adopt a plant-based diet for free
Oh, that would be
within
great.
your price range, within your area, and everything that you need.
Okay.
Do you think but what I want from you is give a watch either to Dominion or the most important speech ever here.
Okay.
They both appear on top here.
Okay. Thank you
Okay?
so much.
Thank
Have
you
a
so
great
much.
day.
Have an awesome day.
You too. Thank
Bye. Hello, everyone. I don't think you can imagine just how weird the phone looks like now because I used some tinfoil to cover the phone like this. Well, let's see.Maybe we can have some more conversations with people. We've just been having conversations left and right. Hello, Erwin. Nice to see you here. Oh, we got a lot more people today in the chat, huh? Hey, everybody! If you're enjoying the conversations, remember to subscribe. Why not? I have a lot of these conversations. I'm gonna be back again live tomorrow. The same on Thursday. Well, actually tomorrow's Thursday. Sorry, tomorrow. The same on Friday and Sunday for sure. I don't know yet Saturday, but yeah. So hit that like, subscribe, join the community. We have an awesome community here. I will also answer some of the questions if you guys want. If you guys have questions today. The phone is now a conspiracy theorist with a tinfoil hat. Exactly so. It's exactly like it's so weird, but it's like the tinfoil is around the phone, like all the way up to here. Europe on the brink of regional conflict and dudes worried about cows. Well, Dr. MRM, I think that we should be talking about oppression regardless. I don't think that oppression is justified because there's wars or I don't know, political issues. But why would you say Europe is on the brink of whatever you said it is? Because it isn't. As you see, it's all good here. It's a pretty busy area here. Sorry, I'm a speciesist, 100% love being a speciesist. Do you think there's any difference between a speciesist and a racist? Hey, you want to try?
Hello, yeah.
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Sounds good, sounds good. I don't mind.
What's your name?
My name's, sorry, is that it?
Yeah, that's it. What's your name?
Ayan, nice to meet you.
Ayan, nice to meet you. I'm Chip. Where are you from?
I'm from India.
From India.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ayan, I'm an animal rights activist. I
Okay.
fight for the rights of animals.
Sounds
Do you
good.
think animals deserve rights?
For sure, yeah.
What rights do you think they deserve?
What rights? I mean, they shouldn't be poached. I think they're endangered, so they should be able to like live full, complete lives in the wild without us having to go and deforest. I mean, remove the forests, stuff like that. Just general, very basic. Right to live. That's pretty important.
Oh yeah, right to live is a good one.
Yeah.
So do you think that animal agriculture respects the right to live for animals?
What is animal agriculture?
Of any form of farming of animals?
Farming of animals. Probably not. I think I've heard a lot about the cow industry, like dairy, meat, pork, salami, sausage, all of that. Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah, they exploit and kill animals,
No,
right?
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you for or against exploitation of animals?
I am against, and I'm contradicting myself because I know I eat a lot of meat,
Yeah.
and it's hard for me to reconcile with that because I do agree that animals need rights, but at the same time I've like grown up on meat, so it's hard to like kind of get off it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think it's harder? It's hard for you to get off of it because you don't have the knowledge, or why exactly is it hard?
No, I think I know enough about animal exploitation. Like not enough. Like I don't know too much, but
Yeah.
I know I have a general idea of what goes on in the industry, and like I do feel guilty eating meat, but at the same time, I love food as well. So it's a bit of a contradiction.
I
right?
see what you mean. Yeah. Do you think
Yeah.
you can get food enjoyment from other products, like plant-based products and such?
Yes and no. I think there's some pretty good replacements out there, but then some that don't meet the same level of flavor and standard. And stuff
Do you
like
think that you can live? Let me put it this way. Do you think you can live a life where you don't consume animal products but still enjoy your food a lot?
that. Yeah, I mean, not me specifically, but I feel like people in general probably can.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you think you can?
I think if I put enough effort into it and
Yeah.
like put my mind to it, definitely.
Yeah. Do you think it's worth it so that you no longer support animal exploitation?
Do I think it's worth it? Yeah, definitely. Like at some point, I know eating sausage and salami and stuff isn't good for health. So at some point, like I do want to stop, and then
Okay.
of course, animal rights is also reason to stop.
Okay, and here comes the difficult question
Yeah.
then. How many more animals should be exploited and slaughtered for you until you change?
That's a good question. And I am in the wrong. I do acknowledge that.
Yeah. How many would you like to be exploited and killed for you?
I don't know. You have me there. You know.
You don't know? It's I don't want to have you there. It's not like me have you there or
Yeah.
owning you there. It's a conversation, you know.
No, for sure, for
The
sure.
reason why I ask this question is because a lot of the times when we think about animals, we say, "Oh, I'm doing wrong to some animals," and then at some point I'll stop and we somehow reconcile with that. We think that's okay, that's enough, because we kind of see animals as this, I don't know, puddle of water, like
No,
this
for
clump.
sure.
At some point,
Yeah.
at some point I'll deal with it. But the reality is, each individual, when you consume an animal product, each individual
Yeah.
will that you will consume was exploited, slaughtered, and abused.
sure.
You know, and if you were in their shoes, I'm sure
Yeah.
you wouldn't want somebody to say, "Well, I'll exploit you and a couple more, and then I'll stop." Would that be okay?
That is true. That is true. That is a good argument. I don't have anything against that.
Yeah.
And that's a fair point.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. We need to think about animals from this other perspective also, you know, the
Yeah.
individuals that they are, and we should be respecting them. Like, take for instance, if let's say there's a virus, a deadly virus, and there's no more meat in supermarkets starting tomorrow, but you can still consume, let's say, dogs or cats, would you do that?
Probably not.
Probably not, yeah.
I mean,
you can always
definitely
adopt
not.
a plant-based diet, but you can
Yeah.
also take cats and dogs.
Yeah, I think when talking about cats and dogs, there's also an aspect of socialization involved, where
Yeah.
like you kind of taught that cats and dogs are like domestic animals and they live with you and they're your friends. So like, I feel like we treat animals like a hierarchy. There's like,
We do, but do you think that's fair?
no, it's not. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
kind of unravel
Yeah,
how,
yeah,
how I'm
yeah.
thinking about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's,
You're right,
That's
but
how
the-
we all think about it.
But do you think that I think even in India you have castes, right?
Yeah.
Do you think those are fair?
No, definitely.
No, they're not. Those are like just random tags, the random labels that we assign to people, aren't they?
Yeah.
And it's
yeah.
the same that of these, they're just random labels that we assign to other individuals,
No,
to
that's true.
to animals.
And I think when it comes to animals, there's like a lot of work to be done to like kind of change change everyone's minds. I don't think that's going to happen overnight. It's like a very, very long-term process.
But what about you? What do you want to do? Do you want to continue supporting this oppression, or do you want to stop?
I'm a very confused man, just generally in life in terms of political ideas. Yeah, I mean, I would like it to stop. I would like it to stop. I would like myself to stop. I know it's not going to be easy, but
But if you start on this idea, that's not going to be easy. It just seems like, oh no, it's
No,
going to be
no,
hard.
that
And
just
it's
sounds like
like
a cop-out, you
it's
know?
starting with you're starting with the quitting in mind already, right?
Yeah.
Because like if I can say something, it's not that difficult. It's only a change.
Yeah.
And like any other change, it's only difficult to start. But once you start, it's very
No,
easy.
for sure. I've never like properly tried it,
Yeah.
but just thinking about it.
Yeah, because look at this cute dog. Look, we wouldn't
No,
want
that
to
is a
harm
cute dog,
them, right? Yeah, and I mean, they're cute on the outside, but if you think from their perspective, they're an individual who has emotions and
Yeah,
feelings.
yeah.
And that's the same for any cow, any chicken,
No, for
any
sure.
any
Yeah,
any
yeah.
of these animals. And just because we don't see it happening doesn't mean it doesn't happen for us, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you do? What's this whole project? Is it like
it's
an animal rights?
Yeah, I
thing?
try to speak about animals to
Okay.
get people to go vegan. Do you know what being vegan is?
Oh yeah, definitely.
What is being vegan to you? What does it mean?
I think just getting rid of animal products, not just diet, but like fashion-wise, in terms of consumption choices, in terms of companies you buy from generally.
Yeah.
It's a very broad kind of consumer choice set.
Yeah, so being vegan is about respecting the rights of animals.
Yeah.
And as a consequence, we don't eat their flesh, we don't wear their skin, we don't
Yeah,
go
yeah.
to zoos where they exploit animals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's but it's just a consequence of it.
Yeah.
But essentially, it's about the animals and respecting their rights.
Mhm.
It sounds to me like you align with that definition. Huh? It's just your actions don't really.
No,
say
my
the same.
actions don't. I'm like a very
Yeah.
what do you call it? Textbook liberal kind of. Like
Yeah.
I think on paper I'm very much progressive and stuff, but
So don't you think that then it wouldn't even be actually you changing, but it would just be you reflecting on the outside
Yeah,
who you are
yeah,
on
yeah.
the inside?
No, for
because
sure.
on the inside you think it's wrong to do this to these
I do
animals.
I do think it's wrong. It's just as a consumer,
Yeah.
you got to be responsible. I think you even see that in terms of just basic stuff. Like people want to buy iPhones, but at a very fundamental level, you're probably going to be against slavery. That's pretty fundamental.
Yeah.
But you see what's going on, like factories across the world and like some of these facilities, and you're like,
Yeah.
you'd be against that, but we still engage in it.
But imagine you were put it with a choice between buying an iPhone where there was human exploitation
Yeah.
and another phone that didn't have human exploitation. Which one would you choose?
Definitely the one without human. I think
Exactly.
everyone, when given the choice, they would choose that. But for the average person, it's not that easy of a choice because
I understand that, but like,
Yeah.
do you see this analogy that I made? If you bring it back to, for example, for food,
Yeah.
we always have this choice, right? Because we always have a plant-based dish available, and
There is,
if
yeah.
we choose an animal product, then we're essentially paying for animals to be exploited. For
yeah.
us.
But I guess the perception behind vegan food
Yeah.
right now isn't the best. Like you can see people changing over time,
Yeah.
but there is this underlying belief.
Sorry, we
like-
have to intrude you guys.
Sorry,
yeah,
sorry.
sure, go
All
ahead.
good, go ahead. There is this underlying perception that it's not going to be as good and probably doesn't hit the same spot in terms of taste and flavor.
Oh,
and
dude.
all of that.
Dude, vegan food it's amazing, man.
No, I'm sure it is.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure it is. But
Do you live
that's the
here in
general-
Amsterdam?
No, I live in Rotterdam.
You live in Rotterdam.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you live in the Netherlands, right?
Yeah.
You have so many alternatives here, man. Have you
No,
tried
that's
like
true.
from Vegetarisch Slager?
Yeah.
There's this thing called leaded beef. Have you ever tried it?
No, I have not. I
Dude,
have not.
try it. It's
Okay.
gonna change. You're gonna feel like, why would I ever eat beef if I can eat this?
Sure,
It's
I will
amazing.
check it out. My friends are waiting on me.
Yeah,
though, so
yeah,
I'm
sure,
sorry, I
sure, no
gotta-
worries. Thank you for having this conversation with me. Scan this QR code and watch either the Minion. I'll give you this card. Don't worry.
Okay.
Just promise me you'll scan this QR code and watch the Minion or the most important speech
For
ever
sure.
here.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
I appreciate
Have a
it. What
nice
was
day.
your name again?
Ayan.
Ayan.
Yeah.
I'm Chip. Have an awesome day.
around,
Respect animals, okay?
Okay.
Appreciate you. Good conversations. Good conversation so far. This. You guys want to try it? Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
But how long is it?
I don't know. How long do you have?
2 minutes, 3-4 minutes.
Oh, I think I can't do it in 3-4
Yeah,
minutes.
okay.
Maybe it's a little bit
No?
longer. No.
Okay. See you.
Yeah. Cheers.
Good day.
Thank you. You guys want to try it? Oh, okay. You want to try a social experiment?
Okay.
Yeah, I just ask you some questions. Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel? If you're not okay, it's you can say no.
No.
No, okay, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
is it?
You can also be off camera if you want. I just ask you some questions. That's to get you to think a little bit.
No.
No, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Maybe next time. That's okay.
I just asked if you saw the boat.
No, if they say 2-3 minutes now. Oh, you want to try it? Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Yeah, sure.
What's your name?
Phoenix.
Phoenix?
Ruby.
Ruby. Okay. Phoenix and Ruby. Let me put it a little bit. Okay, like this. Okay. So Phoenix and Ruby, do you think? I'll just name it like this. Okay. Do you think that black people deserve rights?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think LGBTQ people deserve rights?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think women deserve rights?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And now here comes the difficult one. Do you think animals deserve rights?
Yeah.
Yes.
What rights do you think animals deserve?
To be protected, and to be safe.
To be safe.
To look
Do you-
after.
Yeah. Do you think they deserve the right to not be enslaved?
Yeah, they don't deserve that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Do you think that animal agriculture enslaves animals?
I'll start again.
Do you think animal agriculture enslaves animals?
What do you mean by that?
Well, animal agriculture inherently means bringing to life an animal, using their body, and then killing them so that you can eat their body.
That's abuse, yeah.
Yeah. Would you say that is enslavement of animals?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you consume animal products?
No, not really.
Not really.
No.
Are you vegan?
Yeah.
What do you say?
Well,
Yeah.
it's difficult. I don't really eat meat. I don't like meat, and
Yeah.
I don't really eat any of that stuff. But occasionally, because I'm a very
Occasionally.
picky eater, so
Okay.
I don't like meat. So
How about you? Do you?
I love
consume-
meat.
You love meat?
Yeah.
But do you think that your love of meat justifies the violence, exploitation, abuse, and slaughter that these animals go through?
Not really.
Not really, no. Yeah. Do you think, like, for example, if I love sex, would it be justified for me to oppress a human so that I can have sex? No. I would say that. I would say that's wrong, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
So when it comes to things that we love, any action that we're supporting, do you think we should be looking at the victims also,
yeah,
from the victim's perspective?
yeah.
Yeah. And if you don't consume animal products only once in a while, do you think you could just let it go and not consume at all?
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think that to the animal that gets exploited and slaughtered for you, do you think to them, let's say you do it once a year, do you think to that animal it matters that you did it that once a year? Or do you think to them it matters that you did it at one time?
That's a difficult question. I mean, yeah, it will matter, but not as much as consuming it constantly.
Well, let me ask you this. Let's say you are on the line, right? Your life is on the line and you're about to get slaughtered, right? And would you feel better if you would knew that after they slaughter you, they're no longer going to slaughter anybody else?
Yeah.
I mean,
I
you would
mean, I
feel
would,
better.
I
Yeah.
would.
You
I
would feel
mean,
better, yeah.
because
I see.
like-
But you would still prefer that they
Yeah,
don't
I would still
slaughter you,
prefer that
right?
they wouldn't
Yeah,
slaughter me. But
that
like,
was
if
my-
I had the choice of saving others, yeah.
Yeah, fair
It's like-
enough. I see what
But
you
no,
mean.
I would
yeah.
prefer they wouldn't slaughter me
Yeah.
or anyone.
Yeah. So by the way, a vegan is a person who respects the rights of animals, just like a feminist is a person who respects the rights of women, and I don't know, LGBTQ ally is somebody who respects the rights of
Yeah.
LGBTQ, I guess. So, did you ever consider being vegan?
Yeah, I have a few times. I mean, recently, yeah, because more and more I'm starting to like less of animal products and stuff, just for my taste, and also I have worked with animals before, so after being around and working with animals, after a while, you realize that it's sad. And
Yeah.
even with like wildlife hospitals and stuff, it's still sad. Like I work places like that, and they're still being mistreated.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm a very big animal person, so it's sad to see all that.
It is. So, we don't need to consume animal products, right? So knowing that we don't need to, when we choose to, we make a conscious choice to put this animal into, places we wouldn't want to be ourselves in,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So, can you be an animal person while at the same time eat animals?
I don't know, that's a hard one. I mean, yes, but also no at the same time. That's a difficult question.
Can I be a feminist while at the same time slapping women's asses?
No.
No?
No.
Because I would get pleasure from it.
Yeah.
And I would do it once a week. Oh,
No, that's not, no.
Oh, once a year. Does that make it okay?
No.
No. Okay. See.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see
So.
what you mean, yeah.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, if we think from the victim's perspective, we realize that we can't really say I love animals if we choose to put them into slaughterhouses, right?
Yeah, yeah, that is true. I do,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you having this conversation with me. I understand you consume animal products daily, but what do you think about animals in general? Like, because I understand what you get from it, but you also know what they suffer for you to get what
Well,
you
I
get.
love, I love like animals. Yeah, just I don't know. I just like meat.
Yeah. Do you think you could eat plant-based meat, for example?
I don't know.
You probably won't be able to convince him not to give up meat. Like,
Yeah.
he
No.
really likes his meat.
Would you eat dog meat? No. So
Well, like animal food.
yeah,
No, like
no-
eating dog.
like eating a dog.
Oh hell no.
So can I ask what is the difference between a dog and a cow that justifies the difference in view?
Well, a dog is a pet, and a cow.
But that's a label you assign. I'm asking what's the difference from their perspective.
Because people still eat dog anyway.
I don't know. I don't really know how to answer that question.
Yeah, because we can assign labels, right? Like look at what take for instance in the LGBTQ movement, right? When there's a trans individual, all these people, in order to bypass and say that no, you're not that, you're this other label, right? They always assign this other label to them, and they're like, no, you're not a man, you're a woman. Oh no, you're not a woman, you're a man. Doesn't really matter, right? They always assign these other labels. So, do you think we should care about the labels we assign to them, or do you think we should care about what they want?
Care what they want?
Yeah, shouldn't that also apply to animals? Because they also have desires.
I guess so.
Yeah, so I don't know. Do you think you should maybe see them as more than just objects for you to get meat from?
Yeah.
How about I do this? I give you a card to look into a documentary, and I give you a card that will help you with your nutrition, and then you decide what you want to do. Does it sound good?
Yeah, sure.
Just to at least know what you're paying for, because my whole point here is to at least try to inform as many people as possible. So if you scan this QR code, watch the Minion. I recommend you. And for you, it's the same card essentially, but if you scan this QR code, somewhere there you find a thing called Challenge 22. They hook you up with a nutritionist, send you recipes every day, and they help you adopt a plant-based diet for free.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
I appreciate you. Have a good day. And let's respect animals, okay? Make
Yeah.
better choices. I know we can.
Yeah, definitely.
Cheers.
Thank
Have a
you.
good one. How did you guys like this introduction of speaking about other rights? I feel like it's interesting to speak, to get it like this, to speak about rights, because I think like it then solely emphasizes on the idea that veganism is about the rights. It's not about what we eat, what we do. It's about the rights and respecting those rights. It helps it click. I also thought so too, Linda. Thank you for that. This guy 100% has an agenda. Yeah, my agenda is defending the defenseless, is defending innocent animals. God damn it, I might need to apply some sunscreen again, huh? Yeah, I do definitely need to apply some sunscreen again. Welcome to the Vegans Oiling Up channel. Right now, you will see a vegan person with a lot of muscle who will be oiling up to defend themselves from the sun. You're making the stream 18 plus. That's funny. It's funny. It's important when you stay in the sun to apply sunscreen. It's important if you can to avoid the sun, but unfortunately there's nowhere where I can go and avoid the sun and still have good foot traffic. So I'm gonna be staying here, staying in the sun. New OnlyFans. Linda says, nah, I don't have a problem with OnlyFans personally, if somebody wants to do that. But I don't think I want to do it, at least not right now. Who knows in the future. I generally dislike the idea of objectifying somebody. I generally dislike the idea of objectifying animals, humans, whatever. So I wouldn't want to objectify myself. How much baby oil are we using today? Says Felek. That was a sunscreen, Felek. Vegan sunscreen. Look at so there's this path over here, as you can see. Like this is an interesting path. There's always that's a bike path, and it's pretty clearly marked. Let me see if I can zoom in. It's pretty clearly marked. You see with the sign to not. Oh, there's these two women in front, but it's pretty clearly marked to not walk there. And as you'll see just now, a lot of people will walk on it. Maybe not these two women. They'll pass the street. Yeah. Oh, it doesn't happen now, but from time to time it will happen. You guys want to try a social experiment? Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Can you come closer so that you're in view then? Whoever wants to speak. All of you. Okay. Where are you guys from?
From Spain.
From Spain. Yeah. Okay. What's your names?
Anton.
Anton.
Manuel.
Ruth.
Delfín.
I'm Chip. Anton, Manuel, Ruth,
Yes.
and
Delfín.
Delfin. Like the dolphin?
Yeah.
Interesting name. Okay. So I'll ask you this way. Do you think that black people deserve rights?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you think LGBTQ people deserve rights?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think women deserve rights?
Yeah, of
Yes.
course.
Okay. And here's the difficult one. Do you think animals deserve rights?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
because we are animals.
We are also animals.
Also, so-
Okay. Do you think animals deserve the right to not be enslaved?
The right?
To not, be
being
enslaved?
Yes, I
yeah.
think so.
Yes, because they have feelings, I think.
Yeah, they do have feelings. That's great.
They-
Yeah, but
They get
There's
from-
also the difference between animals helping us and animals being slaves.
Yeah.
If they are in good conditions, for example, horses, riding horses in good conditions could not be slavery, for example, I think.
So do you think so? Slavery. What is slavery to you?
In humane conditions, I think.
Humane conditions. Is that the same for humans?
Yeah.
So if we keep a human in a location where they cannot leave, it's not slavery if they have good
I
conditions.
think it's unfair, for example, that animals have to die for humans being very well or that. But
instead of
yes,
us.
Yeah.
instead of feeding us, for example, with vegetables or something like that. But
Yeah.
it's like
And that's a good point. Do you think that for in animal agriculture, on farms, do you think animals are objectified? They're treated like slaves. They get brought to life to be used as an object and then
In
killed.
some,
it depends.
In more cases, yes.
in some industries, yes.
What do you mean it depends?
There are,
Sorry.
there are very
problem.
hard exploitations of animals, where, for example, chicken lives in very extreme conditions, but there are also many farms where animals are treated correctly.
So the chickens is an interesting example. Chickens can live 10 years. At what age do you think chickens are killed at?
I think that they don't do it till 1 year, no? Or 2.
Yeah, 42 days.
Yeah.
42.
42 days. Yeah, that's a little bit less than 2 months.
Yeah.
So they're essentially babies. Is that fair to do to an animal?
I don't think so.
It is not fair, but it is what the society needs. That's why it's done.
And that's the next question. Do you think we need to consume animal products?
I think
Yeah.
I think so.
I don't really think so. I think that animal products could be substituted, and it's undeniable that nowadays we live in a society in which it's all animal based, and it's impossible to be, for example, vegans. But it's an interesting point to reduce our consumption of meat and fish, because
Yeah.
there is not also the animal problems involved. There's also the hydropower that it costs and all the energy that it costs. I think that it's interesting to reduce that and all the
And also to improve conditions.
and all the illnesses related to the overconsumption of meat and animal products.
So wait, until we get there, we don't need to consume animal products. You're right. I'm a certified nutritionist. The largest organizations of nutritionists and dietitians on the planet agree we don't need to consume animal products. We can be as healthy as we can be on a plant-based diet, right?
And we will be more in the future with all the new innovations.
But we have so many nowadays anyway. But yes, it's true. It's only getting better. That is true. So if we don't need to consume animal products, does that mean that what we do to chickens, as we said, killing them at 42 days when they can live 10 years, does that mean it's okay? Does that make it better, worse?
Not okay. I don't think that it's okay, but it is something that is very normalized, and
So
I
something
mean-
being normalized, do you think that means if something
No,
is
no, no,
normalized, do you think
there
we
are
should
lots of-
continue because it's
there
normalized?
are lots of things that are not
But
right and are normalized. Normalized
Yeah.
is not the same as right.
They are
Exactly,
not ethical,
exactly.
so
Exactly. So if this is not right to do, why would you, four of you, continue supporting it?
Because I like chicken.
Yeah.
We all were born this way, and we were.
It's very difficult, for example, when you go with friends to a restaurant and there are like, for example, 10 meat plates and one that is vegetables, for example.
Well,
It's-
wait a minute, but do you eat the same thing that your friends eat?
No, but
So you can choose something else.
yes, I
So
can.
why would it be difficult then?
Because the variety of things you can choose is very
Smaller?
less. Yes, because it's as normalized as it is. There are many
So
restaurants.
what is more important to you, having variety of which individuals to exploit and slaughter for your food, or choosing a plant-based dish where you don't exploit and slaughter anyone?
But I can't know if this plate has been made with exploitation
And-
of animals or not.
If it's an animal product, it's animal exploitation. There's no.
But with that logic,
middle ground.
all things are bad. Our hands are dirty in any way. We have our mobile phones that may be sure, or clothes that may be sure were produced in human condition. We cannot see it in that way. I
If you
think.
replace the animal with a human, would it make it moral to kill them at an early age for something that you don't need just because you like it or just because it's convenient when you go out with friends?
Yes, but for example, our clothes are now made. They are made like children made them.
So if you had the option between buying clothes that are made by kids or clothes that are not made by that, would you say it's justified to choose the options that you buy, where you support child slavery, as you said, for clothes, because it's more convenient, because all your friends do it, because you have more options?
No, but for example, when
So
you
if-
buy
so if-
clothes, one cloth that is made. Don't really know if this cloth has been made for children by
No,
children
but
or
like
not.
you see, I understand the situation, because you say if it were in the situation of clothes and children were the ones being exploited,
Mhm.
you said you would choose the one that doesn't exploit children, even if you would have considerably more options with exploited by children, even if your friends would choose the ones exploited by children, you yourself would still choose the one that's not exploited by children, right?
Yeah, but it
But
depends
so
also
then why not
by
do the
money.
same? So again,
It depends
let's imagine that money is not an issue, that you can be within your budget, right?
Okay.
So then,
Yeah, that's an
why would
important
you
point,
why would
obviously.
you ever choose
Yes,
why would
but-
you ever choose then for animals to be exploited in the same situation? Because you said if you go out, your friends choose this, you have less options. But it seems like if the exploitation was done on humans, you would not consider that as valid justifications. But if the exploitation is done on animals, you seem to think that
That's
they're
right,
valid, right?
that's right.
So why is that? Like, do you think animals deserve any less to not be exploited than humans?
That's difficult. I don't know.
What if it were dogs?
But
They're still
that is
animals, right?
Because in Europe we see a dog as a pet.
And you're hitting the nail on the head right there. We see them as a pet, but do you think that it matters how we see them? Do you think it matters who they are as individuals?
It should matter what they are, but in the reality is that it matters how we see them.
Is that to you, or?
No, I think that that is how the world works.
But what matters to you? Because you can say, well, I've heard so many excuses, but to what does it matter to you? Does it matter the label that individual has, that society placed on that individual, or does it matter what they want, what they want to be, what they want to happen to them? Because I don't think any animal wants to die for us or wants to be killed for us.
No.
But there is also a natural factor.
On the
I'm in the plan that we have to reduce the consumption of fish and animal products, but
Yeah.
there are also all benefits that produces meat in our bodies that can be substituted, but we're born in a way that we are used to eat animals.
Yeah, that's
and-
essentially tradition. You've been doing it your
yeah,
whole life,
of course.
right?
If your parents eat meat, you are going to eat meat, and that's why, for example, if some parents are vegan and they see a child being vegan, that's very criticized.
So wait, if you were born during a time where another injustice was normalized, like take for instance slavery,
Yeah.
do you think you would have supported slavery?
If I was the slave, maybe.
Maybe.
Because I think I will think it's my faith. it's I born this way and this determines. But now we live in a more plural.
I don't know, man. I was born like you, but I questioned it. Don't you think you should question these
I
kind of
question
things?
this.
Yeah. So then,
I'm trying to reduce my consumption of fish and
So-
animals because I think I have this point of view.
so I started this experiment with asking if black people deserve rights, with LGBTQ people deserve rights, with women deserving rights. It's because throughout our society, that's how we started giving rights. Well, actually, we started giving rights to women before with LGBTQ people, but they're still struggling with rights nowadays, sadly. But yeah, if you think they deserve rights, obviously, I said animals should deserve rights also because I don't think like the labels we place on them matter, right? Like for if takes for instance for black people during slavery times, the labels that were put on them were they're slaves. They're like animals. Essentially, they were calling them animals. They're not human. They're not like us. It's okay to enslave them. So those were labels that we placed on them. We didn't care about what their experience was or what they wanted. The same with women. Women shouldn't have rights. What do you mean? We've lived for thousands of years without women having rights. Why would we all of a sudden give them rights? That's another label we put on women. And now there's this fight for LGBTQ people, right? Where we're not respecting their gender identity. We're not respecting any of that. And it's the same thing. We only look at what we see at them, right? Like we see a person and we're like, wait a minute, you're a man. Doesn't matter if you're identified with a woman or not. I see you as a man, therefore you are a man to me. Like we don't respect what they want. Don't you think it's important that we respect what the individuals want?
Yeah.
Yes.
But I have a question for you. For you, what deserves more rights? A human or an animal? Or the same rights?
I think there's difference in rights. I think the basic rights of life and not to be enslaved, both of them deserve that right. There's no one deserves it more. I think we all deserve it equally to not be
With
enslaved.
conditions.
Yeah.
Actually.
But humans also deserve the right to vote. They deserve other rights, which an animal doesn't deserve a right to. Right? We have rights that are specific to our societies, which humans deserve. I don't think animals should have necessarily those rights. The right to drive, for example, I don't think an animal should have the right to drive. But like when we come to the crux of it, when it comes to animals, don't you think we should yet again respect what they want?
And how do you know what they want?
Well, we know for a fact that they don't want to be exploited and killed.
Yeah, but
We don't know what they want, but we know what they don't want, and
if
they
they
don't
are
want to
in
be
a-
exploited and killed.
in a factory and they, for example, milk and cheese on eggs.
Yeah.
If they are in a farm and they are living in the best condition possible, they are not exploited and they are not.
Wait a minute. If they're in a farm, they're already exploited.
Not really.
Wait, so if I farm humans, wouldn't you call that exploitation?
For example, chicken. I have, for example, in my grandma's house, she has chicken, and they are not.
Where do you think she
slaughtered.
got the chickens from?
What?
Where do you think she got the chickens from?
From factory or I don't know.
Yeah. Do you know what happens? They're for eggs, right?
Yeah,
Do you know what happens in that factory to the chickens that don't produce eggs, aka the males?
they are killed.
Yeah, on their first day of life, they're blended up alive in an industrial blender.
Yeah, but in her grandma's farm,
For
that's
example,
not
they are-
having that.
they are-
No,
they
but
are
she
very
already
happy.
supported it, right? She already supported the fact that she bought 2 chickens from that farm. That means, just as a simple mathematical rule, for every chicken that you have on your farm, there was another male chick who was killed, right? Because there's a 50-50 chance from an egg that they're either born male or female.
Yes, but having those chickens at her house, she's saving those chickens from being exploited.
Depends. What happens if the chicken no longer lays eggs? Why is she taking the eggs of the chicken? Is she looking after the interest of the chicken, or is she looking after her interest? As in, she's taking the eggs because she wants to, not because she doesn't really care
But
what the
it's
chicken
a
wants.
symbiotic relationship because we want.
It's only
eggs.
symbiotic if the chicken also gets something out of it, and the
They
chicken.
get, they get food, then
Yeah,
they get,
but-
and they live in
And
the
they are animals that
outside.
can-
But
they
wait
cannot-
a minute. It's only symbiotic if the chicken gets to live for their whole life. If the human decides to kill them when the human can no longer get something from them, then it's no longer symbiotic. Okay, so if your grandmother kills the chicken when they no longer lay enough eggs, then it's no longer symbiotic. And by the way, I come from Romania. I know what you're talking about backyard farms, backyard chickens. My grandmother had the same. But it's just that the minute that egg production stopped or decreased, they would kill them. The roosters would also be killed because roosters don't produce a lot. My grandma had 1 rooster. How did that happen? 1 rooster and 7 chickens. How did that happen? It's obviously the other 6 roosters that were born were killed. None of this is symbiotic. This is just we're doing it because we want to benefit from it. It's slavery. It's slavery with good conditions. It's good working conditions, but it's still slavery, right? Like
But slavery,
with that
for
logic,
me, slavery is for humans. I don't think.
Doesn't matter if like I understand that you want to define slavery as only being for humans, but the sheer act that it implies, what slavery implies, can also apply to other beings who feel, who emote, who have who who, who feel, who have thoughts, who have who have a desire to be with other other members of their family, who have friendships.
Okay, but
and these are all things that animals do feel.
with your logic, I think you work from social media.
So, no. I'm a software engineer. I don't make
Okay,
money.
and you get money with working.
Yeah.
That's slavery.
That's not slavery, no.
Yeah,
because I choose to.
Yeah, but
A slave chooses because it hasn't.
Slavery is not by choice. None of these animals choose to. All of these animals are brought into existence so that we can use their bodies, and when we can no longer use their bodies, we kill them.
yeah, but you didn't choose to. You were forced to choose to, because if you don't choose to, you will die from hunger, and you will not. You couldn't pay. You really don't choose. You need to choose, but you really don't choose. It's obligatory to you to work.
At least I have choices, okay? None of these animals have choices, do they?
Some animals cannot live by themselves.
Do you think that your chickens have choices to leave your grandmother's farm if they don't like it?
Yeah, but this is.
Can they leave?
Yeah, and
Can
if they
they
leave,
leave?
a lion could get and
But
could eat
this-
them.
for me,
Because
this
she
is-
lives in a place where there's lions. Can they leave?
No.
No, so they don't have a choice. What do you
But,
mean? They're a slave.
They can't choose because they don't have a logical part in their bodies as a human has, for example.
Do you think that
impossible.
do you think that the desire to be free is coming from a logical side? Because if you put an animal in a cage, they'll want to be free. I think
Yes,
you've
I
seen
know they
that.
want to be
Because they
free,
want
but
to survive.
So does it matter? Does it matter if cognitively they're aware that they're being caged or not? Like take for instance, if I find a cognitively impaired human being who does not know that they're being enslaved, who does not know what's happening to them, they're just happy making clothes for me. Do you think it's okay for me to enslave them to make them make clothes for me?
no, but it's different.
But they don't really realize it. They can't leave. They get the best working conditions ever. I give them the nicest wheelchair. I give them the best food.
Yeah, but you don't know if that animal out of your farm it could get killed more. A lot of animals couldn't live by themselves, and with
But
humans.
we bring them into it. The whole problem is we bring them into existence to use them and then kill them. We need to stop bringing them into existence.
Yeah.
So what do you mean, eradicate the species?
No, I don't mean these are species we created. I don't mean eradicate them. I mean
Tomorrow.
stop creating them.
But if we stop creating them, they will no
Modify.
longer exist.
So what? They're species that we created. These are species. Take for instance dairy
we
cows.
modified.
Dairy cows suffer. We selectively bred dairy cows to have these giant udders. They don't have that in the wild.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
We selectively bred chickens to lay 300 eggs, over 300 eggs a year. A wild chicken would lay between 12 and 15 eggs per year. It's obviously extremely taxing on their body. They're this big, and they lay an egg that this big. They lose 10% of their body weight every single day. Imagine losing 5 or 7 kilograms per day and having to replenish that every single day. It's pretty taxing. We shouldn't be bringing to life sentient beings who can feel, yet again, who have emotions, who have a subjective experience of the world, so that we can use them and kill them. And we shouldn't especially not be selectively breeding them for our benefits and in their detriment, like we do with dogs also, right? We bring these breeds of small dogs who can barely breathe. We bring them to life because they look cute to us, but they suffer, they can barely breathe.
But I have another question for you. For example, when you know that there are like lots of countries where people, humans, are being slavers and they are in bad conditions, and the only way to exist is like feeding them by animals. So would them? It's like.
How would that be? So you know why that doesn't really work? Because a lot of the times we forget, most people forget that animals are fed themselves too. And take for instance, cows are fed.
How are fed them? Killing another animals.
No. So animals are
It's maybe a
fed.
question of nature.
No, so take for instance, okay, chickens. Chickens are fed corn and soy.
Yeah.
We could, instead of feeding the chickens corn and soy, we could eat corn and soy ourselves. It's way more productive. Obviously, we're not going to get the same amount of energy from a chicken that we could get from the corn and soy that we feed them directly. So we could eat the corn and soy directly ourselves. We could make soy, like there's so many soy products that are high in protein. Add a little bit of corn on them, and yeah, we already get more energy and everything that we need. So even in those countries, that would still not be an issue. But let's imagine that those countries, they're in that situation. I'm not telling anybody to starve. But you guys are not in that situation.
Yeah.
You're in
I
a
know it.
situation where you can make choices. So how is it morally justified to make the choice to put an animal through violence, exploitation, and slaughter?
I think that's life. That's how we were born, and it's like we are accustomed.
Is that really a justification because your parents told you so?
And it's a lot.
But I don't have
also some money questions.
Yeah, but
behind
I don't
that.
have the media and the information to.
I can give you that. I can give you the information to adopt a plant-based diet.
Yeah.
But the question is, why would you want to
Do
continue?
you think that an 18-year people as we are, we need to study and who has the less amount of money reduced is going to have a good diet because
It's
without
cheaper to
meat,
be plant-based, yeah.
it's not cheaper.
It is considerably cheaper. I can attest to that, number one. And
Eco-
number two,
eco
there's
products are very, very
I didn't
expensive.
say eco products, I said plant-based products. And
Plant-based products, the most plant-based products are more expensive.
so
than-
there's been 3 studies done in Western Europe, UK, Australia, and US, and all of them show that a plant-based diet is around 30 to 50% cheaper.
Maybe in those countries, but here in Spain, or for example in our country in Spain,
In Spain,
that's
it's
not
cheaper.
like that.
Yeah, I have friends from Spain. It's cheaper to be vegan there. I've been to Spain myself. It's cheaper to be vegan there. 100%. There's no doubt in my mind.
I don't think so.
Let's imagine that I give you resources to adopt a plant-based diet with all the nutritional needs that you need within your budget. Why would you continue supporting animal exploitation?
I will not continue.
You would not continue.
I know.
Okay, I appreciate it. How about you?
Me too.
Same. How about you?
I would still eat meat and animals as they are experiments and a lot of evidence that maybe a plant-based diet is as good as an animal-based
There
diet.
is a lot of
There are
evidence on
also,
that. We have
studies-
meta-analysis. Do you know what meta-analysis are?
No.
They're the top of the pyramid of evidence. So we have this thing called the pyramid of evidence, and at the top of it is meta-analysis, which are basically analysis that have they're analysis of other studies. They gather several studies, they analyze them, and make a conclusive statement from them. And we have replicated meta-analyses. Those are analysis that those were people who take that meta-analysis and replicate it to see if the if what they did was correct. So we have all this. You can thrive on a plant-based
There are,
diet.
and maybe there are also studies by the other side.
There's not. Actually, any study. I'm a certified nutritionist, by the way, and any study that has that animal agriculture does every year does studies to try and disprove that we need to try and prove that we need animal products, and every time they prove the opposite. They either prove that animal products are detrimental to our health, or they prove that we don't. Every single time. There's no study saying that we need animal products. None. Like maybe there's one in the 1930s, who knows? But modern studies, let's say from the 1998 and up, from the 2000 and up, in the last 25 years, no.
I have seen, for example, that babies, when they are born, milk.
From their mother.
Yeah, from their mother. But when they are growing up, milk from cows is something.
But
no,
the milk we don't produce.
Milk is slavery for cows.
But we don't need the
And
milk.
we don't need milk.
The milk of the cow we cannot.
Yeah. So do you know why cows produce milk?
Hmm?
Do you know why cows produce milk?
No.
For their babies. So do you think that they get pregnant when they want to, or do you think farmers impregnate them?
No, I'm
Pregnant.
Yeah, so that in my opinion, impregnating an animal is wrong, just because we want to get something from them.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, so when a baby is born, what do you think happens to the baby?
It is fit to be grown and produce more milk.
No,
Maybe.
the first thing that happens is they separate it from their mother. Do you know why?
Because they want the milk.
Exactly. If they stay with their mother, they drink the milk, and they need to control how much milk they get from the cow. If the baby is born male, they don't produce milk. So what do you think happens to them?
Meat.
Exactly, they get killed. If the baby is born female, every year, like their mother,
And you don't think
impregnated,
that
baby's
that's-
taken. Let me just finish. one
Yeah,
second.
okay, sorry.
Every year impregnated, baby's taken and exploited for their milk. They do this repeatedly every year up until the age of 8, and then they kill them. Cows can live 24, 25 years, so at a third of their lifespan, they kill them. Do you know why? Because they can no longer get them pregnant. If the minute they don't go pregnant, they kill them. Is this really something we want to be supporting? We want to be saying, let's do this?
But you don't think that's quite of law of nature? I guess.
This isn't. Then there's nothing natural in what I just described.
Yeah.
And even if it were natural,
No,
why would we
I'm
care?
not saying that condition. I'm saying the fact that just eating animals
Yeah.
without that condition impregnating cows with this, I think it's, in my opinion, it's totally wrong.
But why would we care what is natural? Because rape is natural. It happens in nature. Infanticide happens in nature. There's like lions do this thing, and lions when they wanna take over a pride is a fancy word for a group of lions, and when they wanna take over that pride, they kill all the male lions so that they can have sex with the females.
Yeah.
Imagine if I did that. If I started killing all my friends so that I can have sex with their girlfriends.
But it is not the same thing.
It's
Because
exactly
you
that's
have
why
a
I'm saying.
logical part
But
in
that's why I'm
your-
saying we
your-
shouldn't be taking what animals do and say, well, it's natural what animals do, therefore we should be doing it ourselves because it happens in nature, right? It doesn't really matter. We live in a world where we don't really follow laws of nature anyway.
No, we are not.
No,
following
we do our own thing, and we do our own thing based on empirical evidence when it comes to our health. We look at what is healthiest for us, not because, like take for instance, eating fat is in nature, but you shouldn't be eating a lot of fat because
Yes.
fat raises your LDL cholesterol, which can raise your chances of heart
LDL.
disease. So, you know, we have science and we evolved as a society to do all these other things. And all I'm saying is we reached a point where we don't need animal agriculture. And what we do to animals is incredibly cruel. It's not.
The genetic animals are, I think, are unethical because we like modify the animals in an aspect that we want a characteristic from them to be improved, and then we take advantage of it.
It's
so
true.
I think this should not be.
Yeah, and nowadays, that's true. And nowadays, what they do is they start farming insects so that they can feed them to chickens, so that they can kill chickens even earlier than 42 days.
And insects, do you think that they deserve the same rights as animals?
I think that if the insects are sentient and
Are?
sentient,
What's
then
that?
it means that they have an experience of the world. If they have a brain, if they have a brain, most likely they're sentient. So yeah. But let me give you some cards, and
Yeah.
so I'll give you a card each. I urge you one thing.
Thanks.
If you scan this QR code, watch the minion. It appears on top, or the most important speech. They both appear on top, just to learn about what animal agriculture does.
Okay.
See if you're actually okay with it. And if you decide that you don't want to be part of any of it, Challenge 22 is also there. They hook you up with a nutritionist, send you recipes every day, and help you adopt a plant-based diet for free, and help you be within your budget, within your area, and everything. Okay?
Okay, that's a good point.
Okay. Just
Okay.
watch one of those videos first and learn more about it, okay?
Okay, thank you.
I appreciate you. Delphin, I remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Ruth.
Ruth? Manuel.
Andon.
Andon. Let's be nice to animals, okay?
Okay,
Okay. I
thanks.
appreciate you
Bye.
guys. Have a good one. Long conversation, huh? Long conversation, everybody. Hello, Peg. Oh, Peg is here. Hello, Peg. Awesome, Peg. I hope everybody's enjoying the conversation so far. Plants fats don't raise LDL. It lower it actually. Depends on the plant. If it's saturated fat, it still raises it. Take for instance coconuts are high in saturated fat. It still raises LDL cholesterol. I cannot eat meat for health issues only. Marcos, thank you so much. Can you ask this? If the majority of people were vegan and most consider veganism the right choice, would you still continue eating animal products? Oh, that's a good one. I'll ask that one next time, Marcos. Well, depending on the conversation, but I will ask one, yeah. Thank you, Marcos, for the donation. I appreciate that. Meat is healthy. Well, I'm not denying that there is meat that is healthy, but also consuming plant-based products can be healthy. So the difference is that meat is an inherently unethical thing because we exploit and slaughter an innocent sentient being when we consume animal products. And thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I hope you're enjoying the conversations. Like, subscribe, do all that beautiful thing. Hey, you want to try it? You want to join the? You want to do the social experiment?
Let's do it, yeah.
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Are you? Yeah? Okay, come.
You want to be here so that you're in
Alright.
the view? Oh, you don't want to do it?
No, you just.
Alright, I'll just do it.
What's your name?
Sankhya.
Sankhya. I'm Chev.
Nice
Nice
to
to
meet
meet you,
you.
Sankhya. Let me put this a little bit. Okay. So, Sankhya, do you think that black people deserve rights?
Absolutely.
Do you think that women deserve rights?
Absolutely.
Do you think LGBTQ people deserve rights?
Absolutely.
And here comes the difficult one. Do you think animals deserve rights?
Absolutely.
Okay. What rights do you think they deserve? Animals.
A lot of rights to live.
The right to live.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Do you think that certain industries infringe on that right?
Certain industries
Infringe
for
on
sure,
the right to
yeah.
live of animals?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you may be supporting these industries?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that going against your own values?
For sure, I feel like in a way it kind of, for sure, I would say short answer, yes. Yeah. This is something that I kind of battled with as well. I just feel like I have spent so much of my life, I guess, consuming meat that at this point it's really hard for me to like start letting go. And I have like every year kind of like made an effort to kind of reduce like my dependence on the meat eating industry.
Why?
Just because I guess of the kind of practices that go on in the industry. The way that they're raised, the way that they're treated and stuff kind of doesn't sit right with me, but at the same time I also know that it's not something that I can just completely like let go of because it's just something that I've done all my life. But
do you think that if they had a good life, it would be okay to kill them?
I still wouldn't say so. I still think natural deaths, I guess, what you would want,
Yeah, exactly. Do you think so? Do you know what exploitation is? Do you think animals are exploited in animal agriculture regardless of the conditions?
I think there's maybe a safe way to like raise your animals. Like we have a little farm back home, and I would say like the way that we raise our livestock is pretty much kind of meets the standards that you would see when.
But the fact that you already call them livestock, is that not already you objectifying them?
Well, we're not really doing it to, I guess, send them off at some point in the future or kill them. They're just some, like for example, cows, for instance, something that we raise for milk.
Why do cows produce milk?
For their offspring, and we make it a point to let the offspring drink as much as we can, as much as they want, and we.
Who impregnates the cows?
If the cows want to get impregnated,
But who gets them pregnant?
The bulls.
The bulls get them pregnant. Okay.
Oh, I mean, at the end of it's the humans that do get them impregnated.
Oh, so the humans get them pregnant.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So, is that fair to impregnate an animal so that you can get what you want out of their body?
No, not really. No.
What happens if
I
the
wouldn't say
cow
so.
can no longer produce milk? If they can no longer get pregnant?
Then cows wouldn't exist.
But what? So you kill them?
No, I didn't say you could.
So what happens on your farm?
Okay.
If cows can no longer produce milk?
Oh, we just raise cows just to raise cows.
How long does a cow live?
Like around 10 years,
25.
15, 20 years?
25, yeah.
25, okay.
So why is it that they only live 10, 15 years?
Oh, no, they die natural causes. It's not like we send them off to...
How many cows do you have?
Like maybe 5, 10. It's a pretty small farm. It's not really...
So, which grows exponentially every year, right?
No, it's just if they choose to, I guess, have offspring, they have offspring. If they don't, then they don't.
And if they don't, you don't have milk.
No.
So then
But
why
it's
did
the
you...
cows that are already existing that, okay, say you have babies.
So why
in
did you
a
call them
10-year
livestock then?
Because that's the word that people use these days.
Sure, but livestock, stock implies an object, implies something, right?
Live.
And it's a live object. It's not... Do you think animals are objects?
No.
No. So then why have these cows there?
I guess it's in a way it's also the words that have been used in the society when it comes to how you want to describe them. So what is a better way to like say a bunch of cows in a way? Cows, yeah.
Bunch of humans.
So say cows, chicken, sheep. What would you count all of them in general? Like how would you call
animals?
Animals. Okay, so I guess you would say animals, livestock. For me, when I say livestock, I don't necessarily mean it in like a negative connotation.
But it does have a negative connotation. You
It
can
does,
see that
yeah.
happening, right? And why even have any of these animals? Because these animals, I'm assuming you have them so that you can get something from it, right? So if none of these animals can give you anything, what would happen to them?
They wouldn't exist, no?
Yeah, so you'd kill them? Or
No,
you wouldn't breed them?
You're not talking about me, but in general across the board.
Yeah,
Also, we might have to be getting out, but like, is there like a?
No,
point that you
I'm
have?
trying to understand because do you think breeding animals into existence for our own needs or wants is ethical?
Definitely not.
No. Okay, so if it's unethical, then consuming animal products is unethical, right? So, and you want to reduce it, but what's keeping you from stopping at all?
I think it takes time.
Why? Because you can get all the nutrition that you need starting right
Correct.
now, right?
But it's not something that's on the it's something that can be done in a day, right? It's something that you can reduce over years.
I did
to,
it
like-
overnight. Most
True.
people do it overnight.
Yeah, but it's not like everyone is like you, isn't it?
But
Anyway, we probably have to
can
be
I ask-
getting back. But
I'm trying to understand
One
why.
last question, yeah.
I'm-
Sorry, I want to spend
okay,
more
one
time
last
with you, but-
question. How many more animals should be exploited for you until they change?
Oh, for me
Yeah.
specifically?
Yeah.
Hopefully 0. Yeah.
Okay. That would mean
And I will
we're
try to
going
do that.
vegan.
Yeah.
Scan this QR code and
Sounds
watch
good.
the most important speech ever here. It's
Perfect.
right there on top.
Thank you.
okay?
Yeah,
Cheers.
have a great day,
good
yeah.
one. Had to leave. Had to leave. Hey, Bible Dumb Podcast. Nice to see you here. A runner. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Everybody here. I got my maybe like 30 minutes I got in me. Oh, let me hydrate. Where's Felix telling me to hydrate? A bird pooped on my sign. I don't think he was honest with what happens to the animals on his farm. Or maybe he honestly thought that is it. Maybe he doesn't know the reality. That has happened to me also. I didn't really know what was happening to the animals that my grandmother did have on with her backyard and such.
You can go to the left, it's not as packed.
Let's see. Maybe we get some. If you guys have any questions for me, shoot them up and I'll answer them. He never lets them live full lives. I also don't think so. Like, hey, you wanna try?
Sorry. Figured I'd see what you were about.
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
I figured that's what's going on, and
You
I
wanna
just
come
said
here?
hi, and
Nice. What's your
I can
name?
always walk away if I need to. I'm Brian.
Brian. I'm Chip. Nice to meet you, Brian.
Nice to meet you.
Where are you from?
I'm from United States, Pennsylvania.
Oh, nice. So, United States, Pennsylvania. Then I can ask you some interesting questions. What's your take on oppression?
I'm against oppression. I'm not happy with what's going on in my country, and I am sorry.
That's bad, huh? Do you
I'm
think?
sorry.
Do you think oppression is ever justified if somebody wants to oppress?
I can't imagine how oppression would be justified. I mean, I don't believe that lying is good, but there are times when lying is. I don't know how oppression could fit that.
So oppression means cruel or unjust treatment or an exercise of authority.
Which is why I don't know how it could ever be justified or appropriate.
So there's people who think that if they want to oppress, then it's justified to oppress.
That is not acceptable.
That is not acceptable. What if the individual that's being oppressed is cognitively impaired or does not realize that they're oppressed?
I think then that's sort of like torturing someone. I mean, just because someone isn't mentally capable, we need to protect those people. There's no reason to torture them or put them in labor or anything like that.
Exactly. And now here comes the difficult part, because it's not a subject change, it's the same thing, but it is difficult because your mind will not let you accept it. Do you think we're oppressing animals?
I think we probably are oppressing animals.
Do you think we should be oppressing animals?
Should is, I guess, relative. When you're dealing with the population, there's moral issues. I personally don't like the idea of torturing animals. I'm not a fan of the factory farm type thing, but I do eat meat, and I do understand that humans really need to, at least to a certain degree, because at least data I've seen about the vegetarian nature, we can't sustain the population we have as pure vegetarians.
So if you
it becomes more complicated.
So if you were to find out that we can thrive on a plant-based diet,
I
because we have empirical evidence
certainly
for that.
I have cut back tremendously on the amount of meat I used to eat. I used to eat meat certainly every day, and now I may eat meat. I mean, I'm on vacation, so I'm going a little bit more. But normally at home, most days I eat vegetarian. I eat something called Soylent, which is a plant-based meal. I guess I eat cheese if that is considered vegetarian or not.
But
It doesn't
it's
kill
not
the
about
animal.
vegetarian. It's not about the diet, right? It's about the animals. Do you think that in the production of dairy, for cheese, for example, do you think animals are oppressed even in the production of milk?
I think in some cases they can be. I'm not sure in all cases. I know there's certainly ethical treatment of them. I know that there are cows that are allowed to like roam around and then they're milked, as opposed to the ones that are just tortured in the stalls, which I don't like. But
We have to go through this. They have heard the story all day because I told it to everybody. Why do you think cows produce milk?
to nourish their young, and the same reason that every mammal produces milk.
You're already steps ahead of me. I used to think cows just eat grass and produce milk. So you're already miles ahead of me. Yes, that's true. They do. They
But
produce
we've
milk
also, I
after
mean,
they
we've
have
also
baby.
selectively bred them to a point where the cows now have to be milked. If they're not, they go into pain.
Exactly,
And
that's
that
also
was,
true.
I mean, selective genetics. So I mean, we are certainly in part to blame. But the animals that are in that care now need to be milked, or I don't know if it kills them, but I know that their lives are much. The pressure buildup because again of us selecting the cows that produce more milk and just continually doing that for however many centuries we've been doing that.
But okay, do you think cows get pregnant when they want, or do you think farmers impregnate them?
Oh, farmers impregnate them, but I don't believe modern cows need to be pregnant as much to produce the milk.
They do.
I
It's
mean,
still
they
biological
need
requirement.
to, but I think that, I mean, like humans after, I don't know the amount of time, naturally stop lactating. I think the modern cows they lactate longer.
They lactate a little bit longer than the
normal
than
ones,
the
but it's
wild
not as
ones,
much
sure.
as-
But
it's not
still,
as much as-
they still have to impregnate them every year.
Okay.
So that's one thing that they impregnate them. In my view, that's always unethical, impregnating cows, just so that we can get milk from them. What do you think happens when the babies are born?
I would assume a lot of them are turned into veal.
Well, the first thing they do is separate them from their mothers. Do you know why?
I also don't believe cows are as family oriented as we are. They're herd oriented, but I'm not sure if it's the same child-parent relationship. But it's
they definitely
probably-
wanna
it's
be with their
probably
child.
to-
It's
It's
instinctive.
probably to remove the baby so the mom produces more milk and.
It's so that they can control how much milk they get from the cow, indeed. Because if the baby stays with the mother, they might drink more milk than is needed. They separate them baby. If the baby is born male, you're right, they kill them, veal. If the baby is born female, every year impregnated like their mothers, impregnated babies taken and exploited for milk up until the age of 6 to 8, depending on the farm, depending on the breed.
And then they become steak.
And then they kill them too, yeah. They can live 24, 25 years, so it's a third of their lifespan. Do you know why they kill them at that age?
I don't. I mean, I know chickens, for example, which I know it's genetically engineered. If you don't kill the chickens, they just grow so big and it becomes horrible because,
Yeah.
again, of our selective breeding of them.
Yeah, so cows, they kill them at that age because they can no longer get them pregnant. So this, what I just described right now, it happens across the board in all farms. You don't have dairy in other ways, right? There's variations of it, like sometimes the impregnation happens with artificial, well, most of the times it happens with artificial insemination, where somebody puts their hands in their anus to hold their cervix and injects bull semen in their vagina. Sometimes they keep the bulls separated and then let them bull be with the female when they're in heat.
I watched a video explaining, I think there are 4 bulls that basically are the impregnators. All they do is screw a pillow all day where they collect the semen, and effectively the modern cows are all maybe not technically clones, but effectively clones.
Yeah, that's true.
because the mothers and fathers are all, they just keep being the same genetics, and when one of
that's
those
how we-
4 breeding bulls die, they get one of the sons that's basically the exact same cow as the one that died. And
Yeah, that's the selective breeding that we do. And so what I said is standard practice. Do you think any of it is ethical?
I mean, this is, I see where you're trying
I'm
to
just
do
trying
a
to say,
trick.
because you said it's not a trick, it's just
no,
that-
I mean, I believe that there's a difference in ethics with humans and animals. I recognize that it's a double standard that I have been trying to modernize a bit. I believe that there's definitely some unethical nature, but there's a degree where we can't necessarily stop it. It's human nature. We need to try and do it better.
But wait a minute, we don't need to consume animal products, and this is unethical. Why would we ever choose to consume? And I don't mean. Well, let me ask you specifically. Why would you choose to consume this?
I would need to see more of the data. You said that we could sustain on vegetarian diet. The last I had seen
Vegan diet, plant-based diet, yeah.
Sorry, plant-based. I forgot. I skipped the word. The last I had heard on that was that we couldn't because there wasn't enough. The cost of doing that would have been too high.
Cost in what way? Money or what?
The video I saw was dealing with. It was definitely taking the approach of trying to mock some of the American vegan activists, which are a bit more than I think the actual good vegan activists. that it just seemed that they couldn't sustain the 8 billion plus lives on Earth in a pure vegan.
But that's
So that's why I have to look
extremely
into
false.
more.
So for example, the do you know what IPCC is? The Intergovernmental Panel for Climate Change.
Okay.
It's the United Nations side of climate change, right?
Okay.
Of dealing with the environment, and it's got the largest environmentalists on the planet and everything. And they acknowledge that a plant-based diet can reduce your carbon footprint by 75%. If that is, if you consume meat. 100 grams of meat per day, at least 100 grams per meat, because that was a heavy meat
I was going to
consumption.
say I do less than 100 grams. I do less than that.
But either way, like
At least on average.
the point is that the reason why it is sustainable is because a lot of times we forget that the animals that we grow, we have to feed them, and we have to grow food to feed them.
But
And a lot of the
but that
times we
food
could
can't-
directly grow food for ourselves.
But the food that we're feeding the animals, we can't necessarily eat.
Soy and
that's,
corn.
That's one of the things
Soy and corn we can eat, yeah.
Not dent corn.
Say it again.
Not dent corn.
Doesn't matter, we can grow something else in that place.
Dent
We don't
corn
need to
grows
grow
more
specifically
dense.
that.
Dent corn grows denser than sweet corn, which is what we eat.
But we don't need to grow specifically that, right? We can grow
Oh,
something else.
I understand. I'm just like when we
Yeah.
talk about the animal feed, I know the data from the U.S. a bit more, and it's something like of the massive amount of corn the U.S. produces.
It's
90
80% of the food that we grow for 80% of the soy in U.S. specifically we grow for animals.
I was going to say I know about the corn. 95% of the corn that's grown in the U.S. humans can't eat. It's dent corn, which is for
Yeah, but we
animal
can
feed.
grow something else, right?
Exactly.
That's the whole
it's
point
just not
about it.
necessary. But the problem is, it's not necessarily as effective. That's what I don't.
It
I
is-
don't know.
it cannot
I don't
be-
know if I mean, the thing I'm trying to say is I don't have the background. I don't know if on a square meter of land we can grow two stalks of dent corn, which will produce
Let me tell you this
10
way.
pounds versus one stalk that produces 3 pounds of sweet corn. I just don't know.
It takes between 6 to 8 times more land to grow 1 gram of animal protein versus 1 gram of plant protein.
Okay, I mean that's one of the things that maybe they've gotten more efficient than since I saw the last time I did the.
But regardless of how efficient animal agriculture becomes, at
No,
the end of
I'm
the day,
talking about the vegan
yeah,
agriculture.
yeah. But regardless of how efficient all of it becomes, it will always be more efficient to consume plants because the energy that we feed the animals cannot possibly be energy that we get from them. We always feed them more energy, more water, and we get less out of it. It's the principle of thermodynamics, right?
Agreed, but we can't eat grass.
No, but most animals are not fed grass, and even if they're fed grass, we can on that land we can choose to not grow grass but something else. There's very few areas where we say that it only grows grass there. Most of the land is arable and can grow multiple other things. But regardless, I think for me the way I see it, it's about animal rights, right? Like, would you, for example, put a dog in that position? Would you start consuming dog meat?
Would I know? But I know there are cultures that have specific effective breeds of dogs that have been raised as
I know,
meat.
I know, but
And
you-
I
but you
don't
yourself-
feel that I can judge. I mean, as I eat cow. I don't feel that I should judge people that are eating, again, specifically dogs that are raised for meat. These aren't eating pet dogs.
But wait
They
a minute,
are-
should you judge somebody who's beating the dog right now on the street?
Eating a dog is again different in
Then cutting
this
a dog.
this is one of those things where, especially with dogs, think about cows in India. They would think I'm a monster for eating a hamburger.
No, India
because
is the number 3 largest exporter of beef worldwide.
Indian religion is against eating cow.
Yeah, but
and
they
so I'm
still
just,
treat
I'm just,
cows like objects.
But I mean, to a certain degree, Americans treat dogs like objects as pets. But there's a difference when you're talking about the breeds. And again, I wouldn't eat dog. I don't do it. I just am trying.
Why not?
Not because it's not in my culture. I find it gross. I view them as pets. But
But do
I
you
don't
think-
want to judge somebody
Okay, but
else's
what do you
culture.
think matters?
Where if
I
they
understand.
eat guinea
Let's
pig or
stay away a little
something.
bit
I
from
always
culture.
think of guinea pig as a pet, and
Sure.
there are cultures that eat guinea pig, and
But
I'm like,
culture does not dictate morality, correct?
not directly.
No, because do you think culture dictates do you think something being cultural means that it is moral?
If for 1,000 years the only protein source they had was this, I think that sort of makes it cultural and make it difficult for me to try and judge them as bad.
So do you think if it's cultural, it's also moral?
These are very hard questions. I
They are
understand
hard
what you're
questions,
doing.
yeah.
And I mean, you show me a human who says they have no hypocritical views, and I'll show you a liar.
But
So
the
I
fa-
mean, it's a
No, don't go
the
back.
view-
Don't go
no,
back. Don't
no,
go
I'm
back.
saying,
Don't
but,
go back.
But the view on dogs is a very, to a degree, hypocritical one because I do view them as pets.
But do you
and
think we should care about how we view them or what they want? Do you think we should care when
I-
it comes to victims? We should
I
care
think there's
about
a
the labels
persona-
we place
I
on
think there's a
victims?
personification of. I get why you brought up humans that have a lower mental capacity, but a human with lower mental capacity is not a dog. They are a human with a lower mental capacity.
Why does
a dog
species
is a
matter?
dog because we, due to the powers that we have effectively taken over. We need to be moral, as I said, and ethical. We shouldn't torture animals.
So none of this. So
But
wait,
that
is animal
to a
agriculture
certain
moral?
degree, it doesn't really matter what a dog wants.
I'm sorry, I'm
They're
getting
not in
so
a
much mixed.
position-
I'm
they're not
getting
in a
so much
position to-
mixed signals from you. Is animal agriculture moral or not?
I believe in certain cases it is to feed
In which
humanity.
case? Like take for
I think
instance
that it's
dairy
dealing,
cows.
I think that it's dealing with, as you pointed out, it is oppressing of an animal.
So
but
if is
it's
animal
not a
oppression
human.
ethical?
In certain ways, I think it is. I think
Wait,
that we
why
should
is
improve
animal
it
oppression ethical but human oppression not?
because they're not humans.
So what is the
And-
morally significant difference between a human being and an animal that justifies the difference in treatment?
I'm sorry. Do you take like tapeworm medication? Do you kill parasites?
No.
I have.
But
a
even if
feeling
I
that
did
you
kill
had- I have a
parasites,
feeling if
parasites
you
are
had a
not
parasite-
sentient.
How do we know?
We know they don't have a brain.
Define sentience, David.
And even if they,
There are certain-
let's
there are
say even
certain-
if they are
just to be
sentient,
clear,
they would
the
be, you
human-
would do it
the
for your
human-
health,
The
wouldn't you?
human botfly and the guinea worm have nervous systems.
But
so
none
I'm
of
not
this
sure
is
where you
relevant
wanna-
because this is a
I
situation where
want
you
to
do
try
it
and
out of
make sure
pleasure.
that if you're trying to show me my hypocrisy, I want to make the point that we're all hypocritical on this. Humans view humans as superior to other animals. I get the
But if I view myself as
desire-
superior to you, does that mean I can oppress you?
We're not other animals. We're humans.
So
Humans
if
are
I see
humans.
myself superior to you, does that mean I have the right to oppress you?
Well, humans are humans, and humans
What
are
is
not
the morally
superior to
significant?
humans.
We come back to the same question, and we have to answer this one. What is the morally significant difference between a human being and an animal that justifies the difference in treatment?
Advanced brain chemistry to be able to think.
So if we
and
find a
abject-
human being who has the same cognitive abilities
They're
of
a
an
human.
animal, so then that's not the difference, because that would be recursive. They're a human.
Just to be,
so
just
what
to be
is
clear,
the difference
having
yet
the
again?
capability and then having a damage is different than not having the capability.
Well, no, I'm talking about the human being who was born with who cannot possibly ever have the cognitive abilities more than
They-
an animal. There are human beings on this planet, yeah, who don't have.
Just to be clear, from the time that they were a fertilized egg, how was that be possible? They had the capability. There was just some developmental disorder or problem that stopped them. I mean, I get the idea of people who think that disabled people are effectively animals and should be treated as such.
I'm not
I
saying that, no.
vehemently disagree.
I think all humans
I'm not saying,
are
I'm not saying
animals.
you're saying that. I understand
Yeah.
that that's the point you're trying to make or trying to.
Cognitively,
Often we don't make.
I'm saying that there are cognitively impaired human beings who have the cognitive abilities of animals.
There are cognitively impaired human beings. They're probably less developed and less intelligent than pigs and dolphins. And I would
So
still
would it
put
be
that
more-
human. I would still put that human being as a human and not pigs or dolphins. And that
So why would you more? How can you morally justify oppressing one but not the other?
because we're humans.
So it's
as
because
simple as
they're
that.
part of your own group.
Yeah, sure.
So would you say a racist would say the same thing because they're part of their group? They would
Well,
not
when you
oppress
talk
somebody,
about
but they would
when you
oppress
talk
somebody
about
outside
race,
of their group.
when you're talking about race and you're talking about black and white, that was made by humans for oppression.
What is
when
race?
You're talking about race, you're talking about a species effectively, and humans are all of the same race.
What is a
So,
species? What is a race?
a taxonomical definition by botanists. When you get
Okay,
down
so
and you
it's a-
have the
okay,
family,
okay,
the
that's
order,
great,
the
that's
genus,
great.
the species.
That's great. Okay, so do you think that we should be choosing whether to oppress somebody or not based on their appartenance, their belonging to a certain group
Again,
or not,
I
or a
believe that
certain
oppression
biological group
is
or not?
negative, and we should try not to. But in certain cases, it's sort of, unfortunately, the way the world has to
In
work.
what cases
I
is
just,
it
Also,
justified?
my mom just finished dinner and lunch is waiting for me, so I do need to end this quickly.
Sure, I'm just like you
But
seem
again,
to be saying
feeding-
you seem to be saying
feeding-
you seem to be making the statement of oppression is justified when you want
In-
to. It's exactly the
for-
same statement that we made
just
at the
to be- just to
beginning.
be clear,
Do you think
for
oppression
the
is justified
entirety-
when you
for
want
the-
to? You said
for the
no,
entire-
and now you're saying that oppression
the
is justified
entirety of
when
human
you want
species.
to.
Just to
Because
be
and you
clear,
come up
no,
with the
no, you
reasons that
say-
are not logical
sir,
at all.
sir,
Your reasons
you're
are
saying
I'm
you-
human and I think they're
you're saying
inferior,
you-
therefore it's
I'm
justified.
saying humans. You're trying to make this about me. I'm saying
Because
the
it is about
entirety
you.
of human race.
No, there's
You
several
seem to be
humans
trying
who,
to put
who think
something on
animal
me,
oppression is
and
wrong.
I get that.
You think
I am
animal
trying to
oppression
say
is okay.
that humans as a species
Why do you
are
speak-
better.
no.
Not because of me, the humans as a species.
So
Thank you for your time.
you're choosing this group that you selectively chose. Exactly like what a racist would do. There's no difference between being a speciesist and being a racist. There's no difference. Both of them are discrimination based on group of phenotypes. Both of them are discrimination based on group of phenotypes. A human did not choose to be born a human. An animal does not choose to be born an animal. Did you choose to be born a
Race is
human?
man-made.
Did you choose to be born a
Species is
human?
biological, race is man-made.
Sex is biological.
Species
Sex is biological.
biological,
Sex
race
is biological also.
man-made.
Sex is biological.
Species is biological.
Sex
race
is also biological.
man-made.
Sex is also, so you're a sexist. You're exactly like a sexist then. Because you discriminate based on phenotypes coming from biology.
You were welcome to go and lie. There have been a lot of people who've done damage to this country in the past who decided to do that. Enjoy your own views.
Sure, but you said it's okay to discriminate based on phenotypes coming from biology, right? You said that. Species. It's a group of phenotypes, right? Is it not?
You have it on recording. You apparently don't
Yeah.
understand English very well. Get a
Sure.
translator.
I don't understand English very well. It's not you who is wrong right now. Oppression is justified if you want to. Congratulations. You contradicted yourself. There were a lot of people around while I scolded him for that. Sorry, everybody. Sorry for the scolding. Let's get one more conversations going. Yeah, what an idiot. Thank you for that. That is true. Imagine thinking it's oppression exactly from the beginning where we started. Some people seem to think that oppression is justified because they want to. That's essentially what he was saying. Oppression is justified because I value humans more than animals. Therefore, it's justified. Essentially, I want to. I value them over them. Therefore, I want to. It's so funny, isn't it? It's so funny how contradictory people are. Well, it's funny. It's sad, but it is what it is, you know. It's funny to see people being so contradictory in their own worldviews. Somebody said he said species. Yeah, exactly. He said, I value this species over this species, therefore it's okay to oppress this other species. That's what he said. Because I value them, because I want to. Value that he gives to them. It's what he wants to do. That's a value judgment that he puts it. He chose this value judgment. Nobody's asking him, nobody's forcing him to value one or the other. And even if he does value humans over animals, whatever, fuck it, I don't care. I value my family over other human beings, and I value my family over other animals. That does not make oppression justified for others that I value less. Oppression is not justified because I value them less. Oppression is never justified. Oppression is by definition unjustified because oppression means cruel and unjust treatment. When you say oppression is justified, you are going against its very own definition of it being unjust. Ugh. God allows it. It's so funny. God. Which God? My God is in the shape of a chicken, as I've already explained to many people. Gotta bring aliens or some other species with human-like intelligence if he would be okay to oppression. I don't think he would have cared. That's the problem with this whole argument with the aliens. I notice that most people don't really want to engage in it. Most people just, you know, because the question that I asked was pretty clear. What is the morally significant difference between a human being and an animal that justifies the difference in treatment? He was incapable of answering that. He said, first of all, well, we're more intelligent, or we have the brain chemistry or whatever. And when you equate for that, well, no, they're still human. Okay, so that wasn't it then. They're still human means that there's a different difference. That isn't it. So he could not answer that. So he just said, because they're a different species. What morally justifies oppressing by the biological category that he also said is a bad category, species? I don't know. What morally justifies discriminating based on a biological category called sex? There you go. How would that ever be justified? It's not. Oppression is not justified. Not only by Even if you don't want to call it by definition, being cruel towards somebody is always unjustified, especially in the absence of need. But thank you so much, everybody, for being here. It gets heated up sometimes. It does. Sorry, Marcos, I haven't used your argument yet. I didn't see the proper context to use it. I really want to use it, though, Marcos. I appreciate what you said. If kindness were a language without words, how would your actions translate to the creatures who rely on you? Oh, now there's people who say plants have pain. Oh, brother. Even if plants have pain, plants don't have a subjective experience of the world. And even if they did, even if plants were sentient, they would have a subjective experience of the world. When you consume animal products, you kill considerably more plants. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but animals are fed more plants in the process. So even if you're a plant rights activist, and even if you think plants should not be killed, then it would still be preferable for you to adopt a plant-based diet, because in that way you would kill considerably less plants in the process. There you go. But if you care about plants, you should probably care about animals too. Okay, we got like 10 more minutes, everybody. Let's see if we can get a conversation in. Actually, you know what? We're not going to get a conversation in. So what we're going to do, there's a lot of foot traffic right now, so we're just going to hold the vegan sign for 10 minutes. From ChatGPT, it is not mine. I'm trying to use AI for our vegan activism. Marcos, thank you so much. If it helps, Marcos, I actually sit every single day and I have conversations with ChatGPT on how to improve the areas where I feel like it's the weakest. But yeah, so right now I'm holding a sign that says, if you're not vegan, you're supporting needless animal exploitation. Let's see if anybody comes to see me. Somebody's taking a photo of me. But yeah, let's see if anybody's coming towards me. You agree with the sign? Because I have very little time left, so that's why I'm holding this sign, everybody. I appreciate you, everybody, for being here. It's been an hour. It's been 2 hours and a little bit. I'll come back again tomorrow. Tomorrow I might do 3 hours, actually, and we might do it in the museum. But yeah. Wade Harris says, I do research on ChatGPT. I don't do research on ChatGPT, no. If I ever do research using ChatGPT, I start with ChatGPT, but I never do with ChatGPT. I do my own research. What I use ChatGPT for is trying to understand arguments and trying to get better arguments and trying to get people to stop being cognitively dissonant. Because this guy, at some point, he was kind of like, okay, but then he went into this whole, sometimes it's okay, and I just can't let it slip. I just can't accept that when somebody says oppression is okay sometimes. It is not. It's never okay. Oppression is never okay. That's the reality. Okay, we have 2 vegan signs put up already. Let's see who stops by and has a conversation with us. And if nobody stops, at least we're getting a lot of people to read the fact that if you're not vegan, you're supporting needless animal exploitation. Do you agree with the sign? Do you think animals should be exploited? I'm bothering everybody. Oh, some people must be really upset. Let me show you guys a little bit of Amsterdam. Well, while I sit over here, you just see me sitting over here at the sign, and yeah, there's a couple of boats going down that canal. There's biking over here. The street is always busy because cars, I don't think they can go from, they can't go from here to there on that road. So they always have to come like on this other side. But yeah, that's what we're doing right now. What would it mean to truly listen to the quiet cries of those who cannot speak for themselves? That's a good one. Oh, it started off with the heated conversations. It went off with heated conversations. But overall, that's it. And I think I got a little bit of a tan line, didn't I? Let's see who agrees with the sign. People are passing by. Do you agree with the sign? It says, if you're not vegan, you're supporting needless animal exploitation. Do you agree? People are passing by looking at me and being like, what is this crazy person doing? I tapped tinfoil on my phone. I'm holding a sign that says, if you're not vegan, ... I think people, the minute that they see vegan, they're like, oh, okay, this person is already crazy. But in reality, I'm just here defending animals. And that's okay. People seeing me might get them to think a little bit. Ah, shit, I've been thinking about being vegan. This is my sign, maybe. Who knows? Any legit animal sanctuary you're recommending us to donate, says Doc. I think I have I have a status. I have a post on my community. I have a community post. Damn, I didn't know how to say it. I have a community post, and on that community post, I donated to 2 sanctuaries. They're both legit. The last one that I donated to is one where Alexandra, the Radicale Veganerin, also goes to and helps out. So if you guys want to donate to a sanctuary, that would be it. But I think we're done, everybody. I think I'm gonna call it a day. You can be crazy and defend animals, says Utubs. Thank you, Utubs. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I don't remember who was the first, who was last time the first to comment. Oh, I do. It was still Draculum. Draculum is always the first person to comment, aren't they? Draculum is the winner of the comment. Well, it's not always. From time to time, Tone has also been winning the first. Thank you so much, David. David is soon going to come to Amsterdam, so in August we're going to have outreach with David. It's going to be awesome. Oh, I'm looking forward for that. I'm looking so forward for that, to do outreach together, holding signs, doing some interesting things. We also have, David, maybe when you come, we'll be ready for it. We also have a street performance prepared. A street performance by Vegan Future Amsterdam. We're looking to make a street performance, which is going to be really cool. But yeah, lady says, thank you for what you're doing. Listen, I'm here speaking up for animals. If you're enjoying the conversations, I want to change more minds. If you're enjoying the conversations, remember to like the stream, remember to subscribe, maybe share it from time to time. Right now it's no longer needed to share because I'm gonna go, but all of this helps reach more people, and when more people are reached, more people are understanding maybe a little bit more of the message. At the end of the day, we want animal liberation. We want people to understand that this should not continue. It's the fact that it is normal for us to exploit animals is not something we should be proud of. It's not something we should ever be supporting. We should be compassionate. We should, and not even compassionate, fuck compassion. We should be fair. We should be fair towards animals. We should be fair towards everybody. Everybody deserves the right to be freed. Nobody deserves the right to be enslaved by us. Okay? We all deserve the right to live free of exploitation, abuse, and slaughter. That means you should respect the rights of everybody, including animals, okay? I take pleasure in having a nice meal, says Jam Jar. Jam Jar, take pleasure from having a nice meal that is plant-based. Consider the lives of animals. They also take pleasure from having nice meals. They also have families in which they feel love for. Consider respecting them and respecting their wills, and take pleasure from a plant-based meal. You can do that, okay? If you're having issues with knowing how to adopt a plant-based diet, Challenge 22 is in the description of this stream. Use that. They will help you. Well, they hook you up with a nutritionist. They send you recipes every day, and they'll help you adopt a plant-based diet for free. There's a video in the description of this stream. It's called the 3-minute video. In that video, they show you 3 minutes of what animal agriculture does to animals. I strongly recommend you give that a watch. It just takes 3 minutes out of your time. Consider it your introduction to it. And when you watch it, be honest with yourself. Is this really something you want to continue supporting? Because it might not be. You might actually be, you might say, fuck, I don't want to be part of this. That's what I said. I don't want to be part of it. I was a little bit reluctant myself. I watched a lot of videos and I was reluctant. I thought, hell no, I'm not participating. This isn't what I'm paying for. I live in this beautiful country where all of the cows are treated nicely. This is definitely not what's happening. But then I looked into it, and it is. It's all the same thing. So can we eat fish? You know, fish are just as exploited. Fish are in fact one of the animals that are killed in the most horrendous way because they get asphyxiated to death. So I would argue don't eat any animal. Just leave them all alone. You can thrive on a plant-based diet. Why would we start searching for loopholes? This isn't it. This isn't an. I'm not coming here with an argument to try to get you to find loopholes with it. I'm not trying to get you to say, well, what about this or what about that? I mean, we can have interesting conversations on the whole subject, but at the end of the day, it's not about the loopholes. It's about you respecting animals and doing your very best to do so, and that obviously implies being vegan. Okay. Your ancestors ate fish. Have you questioned anyone about foie gras? Foie gras is fucking awful. We will have a protest against foie gras if I'm not mistaken soon, but it is arguably one of the most awful. Fish are just as intelligent as Chip. Well, thank you so much for that. That would be impressive if they would be as intelligent as me. I don't think that they are, but even if whether they would or wouldn't be doesn't really matter. I think oppressing them would still be unjustified. And even if you think my intelligence is at a lower level, that's okay. Maybe you're just not understanding the argument and you're putting it on me, the fact that you're not understanding the argument. But either way, even if you think I'm stupid, you don't like me, you don't like animal rights activists, you hate animals, whatever it is, keep coming back to the stream. Maybe you'll understand at some point. Maybe you'll understand the argument. Maybe you'll question yourself in the moment and actually see what it truly is about. And you know what? If you are actually brave enough, watch the 3-minute video in the description and then come back here and say everything else, okay? Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you for everybody who donated. Marcos, I appreciate you. Always come here and donate. We have an awesome community, everybody here. Just come back to the community. You can drop comments afterwards in the stream because you know, we like to answer comments. We like to have conversations with people. Just be genuine about it, right? Don't just be like, well, what about this or what about that? No, we're trying to actually be genuine. We're trying to defend innocent animals. So let's be genuine about it, okay? Let's be truthful and let's be cool people, okay? See you tomorrow, everybody. Have an awesome day. I appreciate it. I appreciate you so much. And by the way, a little bit of a news. Actually, you know what? While I'm do you agree? Are you vegan? So you support needless animal exploitation? While I pack up, I thought I would share some news with you guys. So one of my colleagues at We the Free is an excellent editor. So I think I might be collaborating with them, and I'm looking forward because I really want to start making some really cool videos also. What has been holding me back has been the video making, the editing side of it. It's always a little bit difficult to edit, but yeah. So Chip, your mod is clueless. We have several mods, not just one, but I'm sure they're not clueless. I trust my mods. We've had several conversations. We explained do not just silence people unless they're being disingenuous or violent or any of this thing, okay? So if you are that way and you've been silenced, probably for good reason. Hey VPM, nice to see you here. The mods are great, exactly. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I gotta end this because I have to start packing things up, and the last thing to pack is the phone. I thought I had more things to pack, but it's just that. I'll see you. There's no such thing as married female vegan vegetarian, lol. I don't know what that means, but see you tomorrow. Respect animals, and you know, if you guys are new to the channel and you are not vegan, maybe you know, watch that 3-minute video and come back tomorrow and tell us how you felt after watching it. Tell us really, and be honest. We appreciate emotional maturity. We appreciate people who are honest. Okay. See you later, everybody. And another shout out to Draculum for being the first to comment. We have this little contest. The first person to comment gets a little bit of a shout out. And Draculum is almost always the one who wins, and the next is almost always Stone. So let's see who will win this.